You're live now.
Okay.
Now you're also unmuted.
Perfect, thank you. All right, hi, everybody. This is the July 15th meeting of the Outdoor Dining Working Group. My name is Stella Fitzgerald. I'm the vice chair of the group. The chair, Valerie De La Rosa, is on her way. She's just coming from something uptown. So I will kick us off. We have Carter Booth with us, Arturo Fernandez, Brian Pape. Donna Raftery is absent today. And then we have some people in the room here for applicants. We will, Arturo, would you mind putting the agenda in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me connect and pull it up.
Or I can type it if you're not on. We will be going mostly in the order on the agenda, but we will give priority to the people who are in the room because it's hot. And we want to, get you out of here as fast as possible for your sake. We also have a couple of attendees on Zoom. I know I saw Robert Hull on there, so we will also try to prioritize you guys. Chat. Okay, I think that's the right one. Okay, so the agenda's in the chat. We have 19 applications tonight. They're almost all sidewalks. We just have one roadway. So we'll go one by one and ask for anyone from the public who's here to testify to speak first. So when we call up an application, please raise your hand if you're here to testify. And then after we hear from the public, we'll go to applicants. You can introduce yourself, make a statement if you want, not required. You can also respond to anything that was said in the public session from the testimony, or you don't have to, it's up to you. But we ask that both the public and applicants just direct your comments to the committee. Okay, you don't have to go back and forth with the public. Let's see what else. When we get to the end of the public session, we'll go into business session, and then we won't be taking public comment from anybody anymore, both from people, attendees, and from applicants. It's optional for applicants to be here, and it's also optional to take our modifications into consideration. We'll talk about that later when we call each item up. Our opinion is just advisory. So when we vote later in business session, and our votes will either be conditional approval, conditional denial, or in some cases it may just be denial, but it's just advisory. The process does not stop with us. Our resolutions go to DOT, they take it into consideration, and then it just continues through the process. We're just one piece in the timeline. And if you are a sidewalk application and you happen to agree with our modifications, it could take 30 days off of your timeline with DOT if we can find a mutually agreeable solution. Because otherwise DOT will call your application up for a public hearing, and that's 30 days added on. And so after the meeting, the CB2 office will be sending everybody a list of modifications that you'll hear us talk about tonight. And so if you do agree, then you can sign them, send them back to us, and we'll register that in our files and in our feedback to DOT. One other thing to mention, if you're waiting to be called up, less so for those in the room, but more for anybody online, please look at the applications linked on our website to make sure they are accurate. We've had some disconnect with DOT recently where applicants will tell us, oh, that the one on the website is not the most up to date. So if you could take a look and double check, that would really help us and make this go faster. I think that's it for little information at the beginning. Missing anything? Okay. All right, so let's go to number one. which is Super Rich NY Corporation, DBA Chada at 260 6th Avenue. Sidewalk Cafe, that's you guys, right? If you want to come up and sit here, feel free. And is there anybody here to testify on this application? So if there is, please raise your hand. Hi, thank you all for coming. Just make some notes. Just pulling up your application. It doesn't look like there's anybody here from the public. Is that right? Okay. Do you want to introduce yourselves, and you can make a statement if you'd like, or just introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Ace. I'm one of the partner of Chada. This is my partner and my partner, Boy.
Hi. Great.
And yes,
Cool. Thank you for coming.
yeah, we're here just to get a permit for the outdoor. hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me look. We have some notes. Does anybody want to start? Questions? Just looking at what.
This is one of those areas that's very confusing because it's expanded sidewalk area, widened sidewalk. And so we have kind of a diagonal between the curb, the present curb, and the previous, I don't know. But the only thing I noticed was that there might be a residential building entrance, maybe next to yours.
Yeah.
If I recall, from that residential door to your primary entrance is well, that's like 5 feet. And that's the minimum that's required. But there's, we like to see that there's a measurement on the site plan that says, okay, within 5 feet of a residential door is clear. We're not going to put tables and chairs, which you don't do. I mean, you're okay
Yeah.
on that. It's just that we like to have that labeled and show the clearance. No, it's pretty minor, really.
That's why we use the second store for the main entrance. We have two entrances, first, second, and the third room. We use the second.
We have
store.
3 rooms and we use
Well,
different
see,
entrance.
that brings me to another question. I saw that on your site plan, you show not only adjacent restaurant spaces, you even show some outdoor seating area for your neighbor restaurant space.
This. Wait, is this the right one?
Yeah, that's the right one, yeah. And also the big one.
Yeah, so, okay, what we have, 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, residential down there, residential in the middle.
We have two residential entrance.
Yeah, yeah.
We have only two.
So, yeah, we would want to maintain 5 feet from the opening on either side of that door. That's what
Yeah.
fire department needs for their equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my note.
Yeah, this one.
That,
This is the residential entrance.
okay,
Right.
Yeah,
And then there's one in the middle as well.
yeah, right.
Oh,
And
this is the one.
this is the one.
You can see this. We have one here and another one here,
Right.
which is this space we're going to keep 5 feet away from the door. And we're going to put the tables only in this area. And we're going to leave another space for our entrance. This is the main entrance for the restaurant.
yeah, That's right.
Mhm.
No, well, that's fine. So, like I say, we just like to see, a lot of measurements, a lot of dimensions. This is one of those dimensions that we like to see in reference to a residential door, that this clearance that is mandated by DOT is shown. So
Right.
it's just one of
So
the,
we would ask that for each residential entrance, you mark 5 feet clearance from each one. So this one, there'd be 5 feet on this side
Yeah,
and this
and-
side,
yes.
and then here as well.
And then we resubmit it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that might affect your table situation. I don't know if this is to scale or if you know the dimensions of the tables that you'll be using. You might be able to squish them and still keep that same number of tables, but you might not be able to. You might have to,
Maybe
take one
we
of these
lose
tables
one
out.
table,
You
yeah.
might,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. You have plenty of space.
Okay, let me see what else.
สามารถ
ทำไปก่อน
ใช่
มันไม่ตรวจ
บอกไปเลยว่าเราเอาออก
And I
Another
have a
thing.
note about man.
ใช่
ใช่ก็เดี๋ยว
Oh,
ไฟอาจจะต้องเขียนใหม่อืม
and then similarly with the manholes, it looks like this one has it. This ring, for every manhole, you need 18 inches of clearance around it.
Yeah.
So that looks like what this circle is.
Mhm.
But you need one over here as well. And then let me see if it's, and then that would need to be noted on the second page.
Mhm.
Which is section 2 required clearances. There's a box S31 for manholes. And you would need to write, 18 inches or however far it is from your cafe perimeter.
This one
yes.
18
Yes.
18 inches. Yeah, so whatever that measurement is.
พี่มองไม่เห็นหรือว่าแว่นมองไม่เห็น
Augustine is raising his hand.
ทีอิน
Question, give versions of this.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Question, really. Well, first off, it doesn't look like they've got 5 feet away from the residential entrances, but I think you've addressed that. The second one is, I believe that ADA compliance requires that serving lanes be 3 feet. They only show 1 foot 6 inches. Do we know whether this ADA compliance is required? I believe it is.
We have the ADA entrance.
we do, yes.
What,
For
what,
the serving lanes, then they need to be 3 feet.
what Augustine is referring to is the gap between the tables. I can zoom. I can't zoom more than
The
that.
middle one?
Like the aisle,
Mm-hmm.
it's,
As long as there's an accessible table.
I mean,
A certain percentage of the seats would
You-
be
you do-
accessible or accessible
and-
racks.
So you
and
need
you
a-
do need at least one aisle that is 36 inches across within your cafe for like a
ADA.
wheelchair to
Uh-huh.
fit through.
Mhm.
It looks like that would be
Just so-
satisfied on this side.
Because we have only 4 tables on that side, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That all looks ADA accessible.
เป็น
Because we have an ADA can sit here, this
clarity
area.
from DOT on how they are advising applicants or enforcing ADA in the Dining Out NYC program, unfortunately, so we're kind of figuring out on our own. But yeah, I think the rule is that there needs to be at least one aisle that is ADA accessible, 36 inches across. And I think that would satisfy.
Yes, we have, yeah.
one side
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to add something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the plans are, that you have show you have about 12 feet. Just realistically, this seems very cramped. with having 5 tables deep. If your tables are 2 feet by 2 feet, that means that you only have an extra 2 feet, which means that these aisles are only 1 foot wide. Are your tables 2 feet by 2 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just the way you have it set up is leaves so little space, which is the 1 feet 6 inches. I mean, that's, that's
Yeah.
this far. So it's not, so people moving around within the space, that seems very aggressive, as far as the spacing. I think that's where that issue comes up.
That center aisle of rows, that center aisle of tables, it might be just kind of tight for people.
So we have to change the plan for the tables.
Maybe we can adjust, remove some table and adjust the aisle, maybe wider.
Yeah,
เราคันมู
I mean, we serve customers already, and then it can go to the background, like,
You mean like currently you're operating
Yeah.
with a foot and a half of aisle space?
yeah,
So how does a wheelchair move through there?
it can go through.
But the wheelchair is much wider than that.
We just arranged in like different angle for the table. We ordered a new table, which is the size is smaller, but we haven't up.
2 feet by 2 feet. 24 to 24. Yes.
ก็
That
change
is
the size you can change the size
This is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of tables. I mean,
Yeah, maybe we adjust the table,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can adjust.
make it wider, yeah.
We can remove the middle table out. Yeah,
because what ends up happening is then you extend past the area that you're allowed to extend. And that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's one of the big issues for a lot of restaurants, is that
okay.
if you try to crowd too much in, it's going to want to grow out into the sidewalk. And that's why the DOT regulations say that you must demarcate and enclose any seating area with these barricades or these.
Yeah.
These 4 tables,
This
we can
what's
remove.
described
them.
here.
Okay.
So that tends to keep people from just moving their chairs out into the sidewalk because there's a barrier there.
This is what we're planning to do for the barricade.
Okay, yes, and that's,
Same to our next.
that is
You
the,
have the box checked for the perimeter demarcation.
right.
So
So you're saying you're going to provide it, and I'm not sure it's all that clear where those barriers are, but as long as you're providing it where, like this corner, you have 5 foot clear, and that's where the barriers would go along that line. So that at least tells us that however you arrange your tables, it's not going to go out into the rest of the sidewalk. That's a big problem. All right, so,
Any other comments? I think
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, because I think that what we would want to see is just an updated site plan, right? That shows the clearances.
This one, right?
Because this is a large area, but it's best, I think, that there's an understanding of what's actually going to be there. So there's not issues in the future, because it's a very large sidewalk area. So I'm just helps reduce issues later on. I think so.
We can remove that table and then change and update the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Take care.
Okay, great. So I just tell my lawyer to update and present it to the DOT or.
Are we having them send it to CB2 Yes, you send it to the CB2 office. So the same email address that sent you the invite and told you about tonight.
Florence?
Yeah, Florence.
Yeah.
You would send it back to her.
Okay.
And then it will make its way to us. And I believe also sending it to DOT as well to get it in their records.
And also, just marking where it's the 5 feet from the residential,
Yeah.
showing the distances though, so.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show on the
And
plan.
we'll send you like a note with all the modifications.
Okay, that would
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll
be
be
helpful.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, great.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Okay, closing the public hearing on number 1. We'll go to number 2 now. We'll just go through a couple and then we'll jump around the list, okay? Number 2 is Take Me to the River 22 LLC DBA Perle at 22 Greenwich Avenue for a sidewalk cafe. I don't believe they are here online or in person. Is there any public testimony on this application? If nobody raises their hand, we will just move this to business session and talk about it then. Doesn't look like anybody's raising their hand. Okay, so we'll move it. Okay. So closing the public session on number 2, we'll go to number 3, Plantshed Prince Inc., DBA Plantshed Cafe at 1 Prince Street for a sidewalk cafe application. I'm also not sure if they are here. Is anyone here from the public to testify, or is the applicant here? Okay, so then we'll move number 3 to business session as well. And closing number 3, public hearing. Okay, number 4, you guys, right? St. Jardim LLC, DBA St. Jardim, 183 West 10th Street. And then hopefully everybody saw the note about the updated site plan that the applicant sent us, which we really appreciate. Sometimes, like I said, DOT sends us outdated site plans. Not really sure how that happens. It happened twice at the last meeting, I believe, too. So anyway, we appreciate that you sent it. Okay. Is Matt Borowick with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Arturo, could you?
All right, yeah, I'll start asking them.
And then if anybody, I see Leslie Clark has her hand raised. If anybody else from the public wants to speak, we will hear you.
We need to raise them as panelists, so, because they have to be able to appear in person with the video.
Oh, yeah,
Not just they allowed to talk.
okay. One second. Leslie, I'm gonna promote you to panelist, and then Nancy, I'm gonna promote you to panelist. All right, Leslie, you wanna go?
Yeah, my comment on looking at the site plan and including, I just looked at the updated one, is that there just does not seem to be room at all here, for the, 3-foot service aisle. On the West 4th Street side, there is, there's slightly more than on the West 10th Street side, but on neither side is there room for a pedestrian clear path, a service aisle, and the tables that are shown in the site plan. So that what you have here, and also I'm going to confess I have trouble reading these site plans because they're often quite small, but it looks as if there's actually more tables now than there are on the site plan than there are on the actually there now. Right now there are 2 on the West 10th Street, West 4th Street side, and 3 on the West 10th Street side. I'm just not seeing where there is room for the clear path, 3 feet, that takes up 11 feet. The sidewalk itself on West 4th Street is 11 feet. Therefore, I don't see where there's room at all for tables. And on the other side, this would leave something like 1 foot for tables on the other side. On the West 10th Street side, I'm just not seeing the room here for these tables that are being proposed here. I also, and again, excuse me, I'm wondering about the number of tables that they're showing. As they are now, this site plan shows more tables than we actually have now on this, in this area. And that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Nancy? Hey, Nancy, you're on mute.
Oops, thank you for the reminder.
All good.
I'm looking at the site plan that was put up a while ago. Is there a new one that I haven't seen?
Yeah, there is a new one on the website.
Well, I guess I didn't get it.
If you go to the website and click on the link, it now shows the updated version.
Well, thank you, Stella. I won't take up the working group's time with that. I'll just say that I think Leslie has already said pretty much what I was going to say. These are narrow sidewalks, 11 feet on West 4th and 12 feet on West 10th, and there really isn't room for any tables, plus the required service aisle. And in addition, I believe that what this establishment actually has is considerably more tables than are shown, at least in the original plan, to each side of the entrance on the West 10th Street side. So, you know, it would be nice if the proposed plans had some correlation with what they are doing. So again, I just think there's no room for any tables here if the regulations are going to be followed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Do you guys want to come sit up here so the mic can catch you? Hi. Can you just introduce yourselves again?
Hi, everyone. I'm Krista Alexander, one of the owners of St. Jardim.
And Judith, the other owner.
Should we?
Yeah.
Fire?
Yeah,
I'll let Matt take the lead.
yeah, I'll take the lead here. Matt Borwick from Helbron Levy, representing St. Jardim today. Yeah, in terms of the 3-foot service aisle, I received confirmation from Penny Ringle just last month that is not a requirement in these cases. This 3-foot service aisle is not required. They don't need to have 3 feet minimum width either. You know, we've had several applications of a similar.
That's a federal requirement. That's not something the city can waive.
Nancy, I'm sorry. We're not going to have back and forth between the public and the applicant. Matt, you can continue.
Yeah, so as I was saying, you know, we're going to go by what the DOT, the governing body of this program, is telling us, and that was the guidance that I was given last month.
Matt, can you tell us how that complies with ADA requirements, with federal laws?
No, I cannot.
The city hasn't responded to us, so how wouldn't you guys need, I mean, you may comply with the city programs, but don't you need to require or comply with federal laws regarding ADA access?
To be honest, I'm not sure how it works in, you know, between the city, who is the, you know, government body that's regulating this program, versus the, you know, the federal ADA compliance. But again, we're going by what the DOT is telling us here.
Yeah, I mean, in the DOT rules, they do say that the design of cafes have to comply with the ADA, so they defer to federal regulation. And like I said earlier, we haven't had, and what Carter was just saying, we haven't had a lot of guidance from DOT on this. So we've been doing research, and from what I have found, in the 2010 ADA Standards of Accessible Design, Chapter 4, Section 403, every, they call it a site, needs an accessible route which requires a clear width of 36 inches minimum. Again, it's been very unclear how DOT is helping applicants figure this out. It does open your business up to lawsuits when, you know, down the road as you're operating. And we don't have adequate guidance from DOT on that, but we have been going based on what we've read in the ADA, and it does say that and I've spoken to them on the phone as well. They have a hotline, which is maybe something that, yeah, that would be helpful. And they pick up pretty quickly. They don't make you wait that long. It's like the ADA info hotline. And so, yeah, they confirmed that every cafe would need an accessible route of 36 inches.
Which means in order to serve or accommodate somebody that has a disability. And I think that the other thing that we've kind of heard about is that just like for interior dining, there's a certain percentage of the tables and chairs that would need to be accessible. So it's not 100%.
Right, 5%.
Yeah, so well, that's where the gray area comes in. However, what's not a gray area is the DOT rule of 5 feet clearance from any residential entrance. So I think site plans do show tables close to that resident.
On the West 4th Street side.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. It looks like we can shift those tables over based on the diagram here to create that 5 feet of space, because what, you know, I agree, what we have here does not demonstrate that. So we'll definitely get that sorted out for you.
And the only other thing I wanted to clarify that seemed to be confusion just because of the previous submission is that the number of tables have not changed. There's not more. It's the proposed same amount. What has changed is we've just shifted the layout slightly to maintain the 5 tables that we have today.
Okay, and then if I might add one other.
Sir, do you want to let Augustine go or do you want to go first?
Oh, no, if there's, we want to
Yeah.
have the public comment
Yeah,
first.
Augustine, I'm gonna promote you to panelist. Go ahead.
Hi, following this conversation with interest. Even if one was to assume that the city wasn't going to enforce a 3-foot service aisle and be ADA compliant, I believe they are going to enforce having a railing demarcating the sidewalk seating. And they are, I believe, going to enforce the requirement that service take place from inside that railing. So I guess the question is indirectly to the applicant, where is the service going to be to these 2 places, these 2 sidewalk setups?
Yeah, we'll comply with all regulations. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with us, but you know, any message we've gotten from Leslie or anyone in the neighborhood, we always reply. We follow all the rules very seriously, and so if that's a rule, we'll certainly comply.
But how do you do that when there's no space between the railing and the tables?
I think what Augustine is asking is, so this is your entrance?
Mm-hmm.
And are you planning on serving the seats on West 4th Street from this entrance?
That's great.
Okay, so that's kind of where there's a challenge, because in order to serve, you cannot go outside of the perimeter of the cafe, which means that you would have to walk within this cafe to this one. And if this is only 2.5 feet and there's tables there, might be difficult. I think that's what,
I think we're happy to comply with that. We understand.
I mean, I don't know. I think that,
But
I'm not-
how?
yeah, Augustine, I'm sorry, I don't want to have too much back and forth.
Yeah, but Augustine, do you have anything else to add to your comment?
No, I don't believe they've answered the question, which is how do they serve these tables when there's no space, there's no service aisle, even at 6 inches?
Yeah, so I'm not sure that there really is like a good solution. If it's not possible to walk within this cafe to get to this one, then it would imply that you wouldn't be able to have this cafe on West Fourth Street.
I think there's a number of potential solutions. One is obviously if there's space to walk within the cafe, as you're saying, we would do that. The second thing is, and I'm sure people don't all know our location, but all of those are windows that we could just serve from inside. Yeah.
Okay,
So I think there's a number of ways to comply.
okay, that helps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I also just wanted to ask, you had said you wouldn't have outdoor seating during COVID was over. And right now, and that was a part of the original agreement when you came for your liquor license, and you're gonna have to resolve that with your neighbors, but that was the agreement you guys had made, that you'd remove all sidewalk seating at the end of the pandemic.
I don't recall removal. We said that we participate in the temporary
In
program.
this signed agreement.
Okay, I'd have to review the language again.
But, and technically
Things
you're not.
evolve. This is an immense
No, right,
opportunity.
no, I, obviously,
We will
but.
collaborate always with the neighbors.
But just so you know, that right now, any alcohol service outside isn't legal anymore for you. So there's a lot more things that you need to work out
Yeah.
with neighbors. And I think that that's something, you know, that's a part of all of it.
Certainly.
Because yeah.
Yeah,
So it's,
so one of those things of complying with the new rules is that you're really not allowed to have any tables outside. You're not allowed to serve outside until you comply with the rules, which means you would have to have had these barriers demarcating the cafe area since last November, I think at the latest. And since you haven't been doing that, this is not compliant. It's very important to have those barriers.
Yeah.
Matt, can you help us? Yeah, because we want to be in compliance as well, but we didn't know that was a issue.
Yeah, I'll step in there. In the conversation I had with Crystal last week, that was something that we highlighted. I gave her the guidance and some resources into, the DOT's marketplace so that they could purchase these and get them set up as soon as possible.
There was one other thing I wanted to highlight. And that is, if you can see here, this is the crosswalk sign. Sorry. The crosswalk sign here, you also need 8 feet clearance from the edge of the crosswalk sign to the edge of the barrier.
Yep.
Which is not shown there right now. So we would ask if that be
We can add that,
shown,
yeah.
and then,
That was included in the architect drawings.
Yeah, we can definitely get that.
Sorry,
in.
it's not on there now, but
Okay.
we knew that at the time and we asked them to
Okay.
measure that. I guess it just didn't show up in the
okay,
final.
okay.
Sorry, that's what I mean.
Okay, got it. Yeah, we would just ask that this plan also show that,
Sure.
and if necessary, that might mean removing a table or adjusting the dimensions.
Yeah, like I said, we'll add that. I think we're okay because we knew that at the time, when the architect did those measurements, but.
Okay. I think,
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
the photos are wrong, right?
DOT sent us the wrong photos for your,
Oh, sorry about that.
I mean, it's not your fault. It's okay. Anything else? Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Matt.
Thank you.
Okay. So we will close the public hearing on number 4. Thank you. And let's see, who do we have? We have 12, 17. Okay, should we jump ahead? Yeah, you guys are 12 and you guys are 17. Okay, let's go 12, 17, and then we'll go back to our list. And then I also know we have number 15, and I think number 16 on as well. So we haven't forgotten, and we will get to you guys soon. Okay, so number 12 is 182 West Fourth Hospitality LLC, DBA The Park Gate at 182 West Fourth Street for a Sidewalk Cafe application. If you guys want to come sit up here. And if anybody is here to testify, please raise your hand. I know there was some public testimony. Not sure if everyone knows, but they said they couldn't attend for Parkgate. Let me see. We're jumping to number 12.
I don't think I saw
Okay.
that. The folder and I didn't get an email.
I will forward. Like Valerie and Donna were on it. I'll send it to you guys. Okay, I just sent it. Looks like there's nobody here to testify, so if you guys want to start, introduce yourselves again, and if you want to make a statement.
My name's Chris Buckle. I'm one of the partners at Parkgate. I'm Kieran Harrison, again, a partner in the Parkgate. Don't really have a statement. We just thought we'd come and answer any questions if you have any.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Well, I've
Want to start?
got a question simply because I went out there today and I measured the sidewalk. And what I wrote down is so far off from what you have
Really?
that it makes me question whether I read my tape right. But we have maps that show what every street width is, and right of way is. And so that can be verified that way too. What you don't mark on your form is the clearance. Is this C1, C2, or C3? Is that clear?
Is this the right?
Yeah,
There's two.
Section 1.
One here, and then this one? Is that right?
It has clearance mark there, 8 foot.
I think
Yeah.
I'm talking about these boxes. at the
Oh.
top.
Yeah, just
One
like,
one
sorry.
page has it, the other page doesn't.
It might have been an oversight by our architect.
But it looks
No.
like both of them, Jones Street is community corridor and West Fourth Street is neighborhood corridor. So both 8 feet clearance.
Both 8 feet. Well, and on my plan is marked as 10 feet clear. So anyway, it still leaves me, I'm wondering if anybody can pull up something that says what that sidewalk is supposed to be on the BP records.
The BP map has them as like that area, Jones is 12 foot.
Yeah.
And then West Fourth, unclear, but based on other patterns, it's somewhere between like 10 and 12 feet.
I mean, we're there every day. I'm pretty sure the West Fourth is bigger than the clearance on Jones. Yeah, at least that's how it would appear to the naked eye.
Yeah.
It's a while since I've taken the measurements, so.
But Jones Street is definitely 12.
Yeah.
The public testimony we received in email says 13 for,
West Fourth?
like that's for West.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But on your site plan, you say 15 for both.
Yeah, that's 15 then. 15 at the
That-
start from the entrance to the,
12 for
Go
both,
down 12. I mean,
for both
I'm happy to,
streets?
well, Jones has no seating, so I didn't
No,
have to.
Jones does have seating.
Yeah, there's 2 maps.
Yeah, if you scroll to the next page, they're on 2 different pages. Like scroll,
I have it here if you want. Yeah, it does say 15, you're right. Just there, look. It's on Jones.
Okay, well, There certainly was a lot of stuff.
So.
Oh, yeah, I
Did
see
you
that.
measure, Brian? Which street did you measure? Jones?
West Fourth.
Oh, West Fourth. you got
I didn't
12?
bother with Jones because I didn't.
Okay, but you got 12.
I looked at Jones Street and it looked like it was so cluttered with obstacles that you would have to clear that it, when I was there, I said, oh, no wonder they're not putting any seating on Jones because you got all this stuff over here. But so that's my mistake on that. You've got a fire escape ladder, you got,
And also just the way the tables are arranged, like, there doesn't look like there's any space for people to move or to have a serving aisle.
So, I mean, going on the last case that we were just talking about, you want the serving aisle to be within the railings. That, I'll be honest, I was not aware that was a criteria until I just heard that. So that's.
Wait, which part? Sorry?
The serving aisle has to take place within.
Oh, right.
Railings.
Within the barrier.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that. So I thought we were in compliance because there was enough room outside of it.
Right. Yeah, that is.
Yeah. So obviously we need to have
believe me,
address that.
we're facing that all over the place and it's clearly stated though that we have to enforce it. We're enforcing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Rules are.
I mean, our attitude is we want to comply with whatever needs to be.
A suggestion is probably like just taking out a row of tables from each one.
Yeah.
And if in the worst scenario or the tightest scenario of 12 feet, that's 4 feet still. So that's plenty of space for a service aisle.
Well, that's
a row of tables and,
I mean, it looks like, so right now if it's a 12 foot on West Fourth and then 8 feet, so that would be 4. And right now you have 5 foot wide cafe. Don't need to come in a foot.
Yeah.
For a table.
We can do that. Rob. Yeah, again, we're a new business. We're not trying to step outside of our lane here. We want to comply, so.
That's fine.
Well, and we appreciate the fact that you've really improved that corner tremendously and we love that you're there. So if we can find a way.
Sorry, I just want to make note of this before I forget.
And also you seem to have a pedestrian, a residential door in the middle of, or next to.
So I think we're gonna have to lose a table there by the looks of it,
Yeah, and that.
We want to show that dimension.
We'll have to amend it.
Yeah, and that 5 foot clearance is to the edge of the door jamb.
Yeah.
Which helps you guys a little bit more than just like to the edge of the general opening.
We redid the door for them, so we're well aware of the door.
And then on the Jones Street side, I was looking at Google Maps and I saw that there's a cellar door.
Yeah, we already sent in so we got that certification.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not used. The stairs is actually cut out under it, so there's nothing under that.
I trust that you have it. But yeah, I see that's not on the site plan right now. It doesn't show, but
It's on right where you think it was there.
yeah, right about there.
Yeah.
So we would need that shown on there, and then also there are boxes here, just in general that you have furnishings, but then the last box is that certification.
Right, okay.
So we would ask that these boxes are checked as well, and then it's shown on the site plan. And then
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely from sitting through the first few hearings, I can see where there's a few things we're gonna have to change. So, we'll get that done.
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody.
We'll send you a list. And hopefully it's about the number of
Not
tables.
too long. Thank you.
Great, thank
Take
you.
care. Congratulations on beating that.
Oh, yeah.
Take care.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Okay, closing the public hearing on number 12. Number 17, right? We're gonna go to 17 and then we'll come back and do a couple more in order. And then we'll go to 15 and 16 for people on Zoom, for the applicants on Zoom.
Good.
Okay, so number 17 is San Carlino LLC, DBA Osteria Carlina at 455 Hudson Street for a sidewalk cafe. If you guys want to come sit up here.
Stella, and I would like to speak on this one. As a panelist, I don't see how I can raise my hand.
Oh, okay, sounds good. If there's anybody else who wants to speak, if you could just raise your hand and Arturo will promote you.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, Nancy, if you want to start.
Okay, thank you, Stella. I did send an email to the committee, which I'm sure you've seen. I'd like to say that this establishment has been a real disappointment to the neighborhood. When they came in for a liquor license in January of 2021, it was presented as a nice little intimate Italian restaurant serving the neighborhood. And in particular, there was going to be nothing whatsoever outside, not in the front, not in the back. We were coming off of a horrendous time with the original explosion of outdoor chaos, really, during COVID, and Hudson Street was particularly bad, including having to have the police there multiple times. So when Carlina said, oh no, we're going to be totally inside, we said, that's wonderful. But then when they opened later that year, they had tables. They had many tables outside against the building and at the curb, and hardly any room to get by at all. Then they put a shack up in the winter that was totally enclosed during COVID. That's come down now. And just recently, they have taken away the tables that were at the curb, but they were there not that long ago, certainly earlier this spring. So again, this has been a real disappointment. The sketch that's been presented is pretty rough. I don't see too much in the way of serious measurements, but if you look at the photos, you will see, excuse me, you will see that there is an entrance to the two residential entrances flanking the storefront. And if you measure 5 feet from the one on the left, I think you're left with like 1 foot, 2 feet, not enough for any tables there. If you measure 5 feet from the one on the right, there's probably room for a table or two coming out towards the street. I don't know about a barrier, but maybe you can just serve from the front where the door is. And there is a tree pit there, which is quite a bit larger than this very rough sketch shows. And will not permit too much coming out, certainly not what is shown here. So it seems to me that they can have legitimately at most two tops to the immediate right, that's the north of the entrance door, not the 4 tables on the left and not the 4 tables on the right. There just isn't room for them following the rules. And again, as Carter mentioned for another applicant, their stipulation, as far as I know, is still in place with the SLA, that there is nothing outside. So they're not in compliance with that either. So I hope this can be straightened out. It would be nice if this went back to being what it was originally cracked up to be.
Thank you, Nancy. Susan?
Yes, Nancy went into great detail. Every time you walk by there and you saw the tables all over the sidewalk, including the furnishing zone, you just couldn't walk by. And it's a route that many of us use down to Hudson when you want to go down to the park or the river. And they absolutely refused to comply. They just said, no, we're not, it's not, those rules are not for us, basically, or else we're working on it. There's no barrier. And, you know, by the way, it's hardly used, so that they're taking up all this public sidewalk for mostly non-used. But recently they have gotten rid of the tables at the furnishing zone. I don't know why, but I'm glad that they did, and it should continue that way. But that's all I have to say, is that they were never in compliance. It's always been an eyesore, except for beautiful white tablecloths. But it's always been a difficult thing. That whole block is difficult. With now Daddy's is pretty compliant too. So anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. You guys want to introduce yourself and make a statement? You don't have to respond to anything that was said.
My name is Alessandro Bandini. I'm the culinary director of the restaurant and all the restaurants that we have. And
my name is TJ Siegel. I'm general manager for the restaurant.
Thank you for coming.
so I'm going to make just a little, obviously true, but now we are looking forward. So the tables have been diminished. And yes, there was a phenomenon that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for everybody, not just for the people sitting at home, but for the people trying to get by with small restaurants. Cost of operational cost inflated immensely, to a point that having only 12 tables inside makes it extremely difficult to operate, especially even going forward with more fees and more taxes that we're going to pay on imported goods. So we just hope that we're going to find an agreement that allows us to at least position, we hope, 12 seats, meaning 6 tables outside.
Oh, okay. So 12 seats and 6 tables is more than what you have here. Is this the most updated site plan?
If you follow the law, like you guys say, 5 and 5, and we shooting for to have sure. We want to be realistic. The 14 is probably impossible to obtain, no? Because she says 4. So what is the medium that makes everybody happy and allows us to operate in a sensible manner?
Sure, I mean,
can be for 12. I would take 14, but are they going to say 14 from 4?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your table size.
Yes.
If you have very tiny tables, you can fit
24 by 24.
Okay, so that's on the bigger side.
2 feet.
May I respond to your question about because what is reflected there on that sketch is not actually what is in front of the restaurant. Exactly. There are significantly less tables. Right there, there are 7 and 4, there are 11 tables there. What we have in front of the restaurant is 7 tables.
Okay.
So the row on the left, or the column on the left, has 3 instead of 4. And then the middle column that's to the immediate right, that's to say our right of the door, has 2. And then the rightmost column has 2. And that is what is in front of the restaurant for a little bit of time now.
Sure.
And that is what we're looking for. We're not looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I see here that the width is 8 feet, so 2 feet is a 2-foot table sounds reasonable that you'd be able to fit that many.
Yeah.
One thing, because we have to address what this looks like now.
Yeah.
One thing is that the tree, the 10-foot radius.
8 feet.
No, 10-foot clearance.
Wasn't it 8 until recently? From the aisle? Never been 10.
Marked regional corridor here.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. I'll double check.
Because they came recently to give us a diktat, and we measured 8 feet, no?
the Department of Transit actually came twice to inspect this.
And they said that only needed 8 feet?
Well, we have other sidewalks and it's always 8 feet from the curb, but if there is an aisle, it's 8 feet from the aisle. Definitely.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Yeah, so what needs to be there may be different from what's there right now, but it does need to be 10 feet between the edge of the tree pit and your perimeter. And so that's on here right now.
Okay.
But it's measured as a radius, meaning not just straight like this, but it would knock out this table too, probably, but you're saying that that table doesn't actually exist right now?
No.
So we would want this to accurately show what you have and what could be there that complies with the rules.
Absolutely. The only thing that is difficult being like edged by 2 residential entrances, like it would be unrealistic to eliminate 10 feet because we are basically in the middle of.
Oh no, this is not from the door.
No, I understand, but if we are willing to eliminate those and so we can sacrifice an extra 2 feet because they told us 8, and now it's 10. But at least be able to sit on the edge of our limits, even though that would sacrifice the 5 feet that seem to be required, because otherwise we're definitely going to put 2 tables in the middle. Just
The width of the storefront is
It's
extremely
minimal.
small.
Yeah.
And it is, as mentioned before, flanked by 2 entrances to residences.
So not to be greedy, really. Everybody is asking for 20 to obtain 10. We are not asking for anything more than we need and be respectful, since apparently we haven't been respectful for the last 4 years. But 12 seats is what we are looking for. With there would be 6 2 tops, and it would be 3 and 3. So basically, you would be in the middle on both sides, leaving enough clearance from the residential entrances and 10 feet from the aisle, and enough space to go if you are ADA. And also for us be able to serve them.
So the 5-foot clearance from the primary building entrances, we don't make that decision. That is just what DOT has said is the requirement. So there isn't really.
But they never told us that. They say that.
But here's the thing, it's not a negotiation. These are the rules. So what you're telling us, you're trying to negotiate something.
No, I'm trying to say.
What we're saying is that these are just the rules, that there's not really space within that.
But who's benefiting from having 5 feet distance from there?
It's just kind of difficult to actually understand what you're proposing here. I think for me personally, like with the drawing and the clearances and everything, like I don't even know how far everything is other than the things that we know. 5 feet from the PVEs, 10 feet from the tree pit. I think there is something there that you could do, but it's very difficult to tell what that is.
Right. And if the number of chairs and seats or chairs and tables is most important to you,
yes,
then you can't negotiate that with the primary building entrances. But if you adjust your table size, you could have a smaller cafe area with still 6 tables. They would just be smaller tables. And I don't know.
No. I tell you who we are. So people spend an average of $120 a person at Carlina. So it is an intimate and refined Northern Italian restaurant. The problem is that at this point in time, with the lease that we have and everything that we are paying, to lose 12 seats outside means to lose in average $300K a year, which we don't want to make money on everybody's skin, but we had to understand the math and everything that entails. So put tables that when people spend $100 to put tables smaller than 2 feet by 2 feet, I don't know how it really is. What are you asking us to be? So, unless the city negotiates the rent for us and reduces the rent by half, then we don't need to put tables outside. But unfortunately, cost of living goes up, doesn't go down. So to renounce to 12 minimum seats outside, you know, I understand that the premises of everything they said, which is true. At one point, we had tables on the sidewalk and everything. We weren't making noise and everything. It was pleasant. But yes, we had more tables than probably we should have, but we don't anymore. So what are we able to agree here without being like, you know, offensive? So I don't want to be offensive, but I also want to close the business. So what is the best that we can do? That's what we're asking.
Well, we're asking you to follow the rules.
Okay, so the rules.
And the rules are very clear.
I put 2 tables.
What's that?
I
That's not us. That's unfortunately, but that's not us. That's New York City Council and the mayor. This is what they passed. That's the rules. And you know, as far as the corridors, et cetera, I mean, those are all the rules. And when you came to us originally, just looking at your liquor license application to refresh my memory, you had no plans for outdoors. You know, so yes, it's evolved.
It's evolved.
And, you know, but at the same time, all this is the adjustment. But what we can't do is not, there's some agreement where you're not following the rules, right? I mean, that's.
No, intellectually, I understand everything. But the evolution of New York City from 2020 until now, and everything that entailed, brought us to a point that is not black or white.
The rules are black and white.
Yes, but there is a whole gray area that is represented by 75% of the restaurant closing at higher speed than ever before. So if 1 foot for me makes the difference in my survival and doesn't strip the people that surround me of their vitality, what is the medium right there? I understand the rules. But if the rules are like, okay, 5 feet, plus I hear all new rules because it used to be 8 and now I see 10. 5 feet from the entrance, never heard before. Now we had 2 entrances. We had basically 10 feet we had to eliminate. So we already lost like 12 square feet of space outside.
Well, if I may say so, as Stella said at the beginning of the meeting, we're only here to advise, and we are advising based on the rules that we're given.
Okay.
So we're not the final decision. We're not saying do this or you're out.
No, I want to be. We want to be in the right.
It might be that DOT interprets it in such a way that's more in your favor.
Beneficial to us. Okay.
For one of these rules, and I don't know which ones.
But if you guys, do you have any influence on that or not, or they have an influence?
We have consistently asked not to have a one-size-fits-all program. And the city said, no, we're doing the rules and they apply everywhere.
Okay.
So this is what the rules are. And that's what I did, and there was no interest in any of these particulars.
Because
and that comes back in some cases, it's significantly in a business's favor. In other cases, it's significantly restrictive.
So
but it is based on clearances of people moving around the city. And that's one of the things, is an entire plan that the city had done for the Department of Transportation called the Pedestrian Mobility Plan. And they took and they analyzed all the roads and streets in the city and said, how many people walk on the streets? How many businesses are there? What is the appropriate public space available to anybody? That's where these rules are derived from. There aren't exceptions, you know, it's what they are, and that's so people can walk around.
Yeah.
And you've heard, you know, in some of the other, from the testimony, you know, Hudson Street dramatically changed, you know, in its character since COVID. And I think that is why, you know, adherence to these is something that the residents are asking for, because that's what it was like before. It was around, it wasn't overcrowded, it wasn't overwhelmed. Hudson Street's interesting in that it is, you know, an avenue, you know, air quotes avenue, but it was also, it's very residential, which is different than some of our other north-south, you know, larger avenues in it. So it's a challenging situation, and that's where there's a lot of.
No, listen, I lived 25 years on Houston between Sullivan and McDougal. I recently moved to Red Hook, which is a little quieter. Nevertheless, I understand your point. There is been a receding problem though since the structures that we had before. Now, unfortunately, there's another thing that could have been playing our favor and doesn't. We don't have room to put a roadway, neither, because you have the bike lane, and across it you have like this temporary parking like street. So we're really isolated from all sides. So that's why we're trying to figure out the best solution to.
By the way, it's always good for us to hear that DOT is actually providing some enforcement. As you said, they have come and talked to you.
No, they did.
They say, okay, here's how you need to do this or that. So because
they didn't,
we don't do any enforcement.
They didn't say about. They didn't mention the 5 feet. No.
But I've talked.
Oh, yeah, Zach, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Thanks all. And I just wanted to add one comment that I really empathize with the challenges that you're facing as a restaurateur. And there are a lot of other restaurants that are facing really similar challenges because as Carter was mentioning, these rules are one size fits all and do not work very well in the village with our concentration of residences and housing. And some of the rules are a little off the wall in my personal opinion. One thing that I think you should do is reach out directly to your city council member to talk about these issues. And the city comptroller's office has talked really vocally about the many thousands of jobs that have been lost in New York City because of these new rules. So those stories are really important to bring to the forefront. And I think that's really the best avenue to advocate, potentially for exceptions or for larger changes in the rules. But that's going to happen, as they were saying, really at the city council level.
Okay, thank you.
And then we also have Norma.
I'd just like to make an observation based upon my somewhat limited exposure to other applicants. And that is about the 5-foot clearance next to a primary building entrance. Given the size and configuration of many of the buildings in the village, this issue comes up a lot. And if an exception is allowed for one of the applicants, everybody else is going to be demanding one also. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Norma.
We'll give you some comments with modifications. Like at the end of the day, we're going to follow the rules, and that's what we'll base our decision off of. But it really helps if you could come to us with like a better plan to see what is possible. Yeah. Because then we can kind of understand how much wiggle room you have. And then DOT will also be able to say, hey, these are the adjustments that you can make. Again, it's very hard to tell from the map that you have.
No, you're right.
How much wiggle room and flexibility you have.
Owners around the country. When we received this email, we got a little taken off guard, and it was a last minute thing. We couldn't arrange a more proper introduction. So I guess we will get prepared and come back with an amendment to the blueprint and see what is really possible, even reducing perhaps a little bit the size of the tables. But
if I may say, Alessandro and I both work very hard for the same company, but we're two different sides of the same coin. You may notice that I don't speak all that much. I do a little bit more writing and note taking from this meeting, and that's because I plan on affecting some change based on what you're telling me. Yeah. For example, second on my list is accurate blueprint, right? So I appreciate you saying it, but it was already at the tip of my mind. 10 feet from the tree, 5 feet from entrances, contacting a council member about the plights of the neighborhood. From what I understand, before COVID, this space, when it was Alexandra, had an outside cafe license. And they had tables that were right up next to the two flanking entrances. And I think that if I'm speaking with the council member, I might mention that, yes, don't just make an exception for us, but please, the new rules for these outdoor cafes, I understand that there must be rules, but I think maybe they don't necessarily have to be quite as stringent in every way that they have been. But I understand that this kind of discussion is not on the table right here and right now. I do understand that we're adults, we listen, and we comply.
Yeah.
So I have my list. I certainly, if anybody would like to tell me anything more, I will add to my list. But we have some work to do.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was our last applicant in person. I know Robert is here, and Robert is number 15. I have a note that number 16 was coming actually in person. Maybe number
16 is online.
Okay, and I see number 14 is also online. So if anybody, if any applicants are here on Zoom, if you could make a note in the chat so that we can know that you're here.
Have 14 to 16 online.
What do you want to do? Do we want to go?
Oh,
to
number 6 is also online.
Oh, number 6. Okay, then let's pick up back up for 5. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so number. Okay, so that was number 17, closing public hearing on 17, going to number 5, which is Kith Treats LLC, Kith at 337 Lafayette for a sidewalk application. If there's anybody here to comment from the public. Oh, Robert's here for 15 minutes. If anyone's here from the public, if you could raise your hand. Okay, so then let's move it to the public section. Business, yeah. Okay, and then number 6, Hungry Llama LLC, DBA Hungry Llama, 679 Washington Street. We will do the roadway first, and then let's do the sidewalk cafe. We're gonna move it. And there's no one here to talk.
Public comment?
Yeah, do we have any public comment for number 6, the roadway cafe? Doesn't look like anybody's raising their hand, so, Daniel, are you the applicant or representing the applicant?
Hi, yes, that's me. I'm Daniel. I'm one of the owners, submitted the plan for the roadway and sidewalk as well.
Okay, thank you. So let's talk about the roadway first. Is there anything, like, do you want to give a little statement? You don't have
Yeah, no, it's, this is our second summer in business. And also I apologize if there's some background noise. I have somebody vacuuming a little bit further behind me. So this is our second year in business. We really look to become a staple and a family, like a part of a family community. And I'm sure you all know this, these few blocks, but no, we get a lot of big families in here, and there's a lot of people that come off the pier and strollers, and we just like to expand a little bit of space here so that way we can accommodate to everybody. And we got a lot of work from homers as well, so it's just a very casual space. There's no full service here at all. People come in, they pick up their cup of coffee, have a pastry, maybe have a burrito. We did get a little bit busier prior to summer because we had a few drinks go viral on the internet, as you might have seen. So we did want to give a little bit more space while also keeping clean as well. So you might even see on our roadway application, we put in a little space for trash as well. So that way we can have a little bit more room. Because we also share a trash area with a residential area at the Memphis, which is 140 Charles as well. So we just we're talking with them, trying to figure out how we can make everything super clean and clear for everybody that's walking around Washington Street.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to start off with questions?
Daniel, are you saying that they take the trash out of Memphis and bring it to that location?
They bring it right next to the tree bed in that furnishing zone. So if you're looking at our place, it's like kind of right on the right. And sometimes it does get a little bit busy, especially in the holiday weekends. You know, if the guys, they miss the trash one day, and then you know how it is. I don't need to have to tell you. So
yeah, I've seen some pretty big piles of trash out there on trash day.
But we do our best. You know, we work with them, and we just try to clear it up if it gets like shoved a little bit to the side, or if it just gets a little bit too messy. But yeah, like working on some larger solutions there, just to keep everything neat and tidy.
Well, I did notice that you did have the dimension for clearing of the curb cut for the garage entrance.
Yes.
That's important, that kind of clearance. And so I think, to me, that was the major element. And thank you for the north arrow. It's not always provided. And so I think we don't know what's going in to the north of your establishment, do we?
To the north of our establishment is another restaurant called Chichio Chin Chin, and they've just been open since November. They do not have outdoor seating either. So they're and their door is probably like, I don't know, like probably like 10 feet or 12 feet away from us at least.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, things change, but okay, that's all I had.
You mentioned the tree pit.
Mm-hmm.
We like to ask for applicants to include the tree pit on the diagram, just so that we can see where it lines up with the roadway cafe. Your cafe is 26 feet long, so in some cases we ask the tree pit to be on there just so we can make sure that it doesn't impede on the entrance. But in your case, it won't. But if you could add that anyway, just for context.
There should be a tree bed there on the sidewalk portion of the application.
Right, and I saw that it was on the sidewalk cafe application, but it's not on this one.
It's not on the roadway.
Yeah, it's not on the roadway.
Okay. Yeah, happy to include that into the diagram.
Okay, great. And I also noticed you do show the pavement marking, but there is a 6-inch requirement of clearance there that's not shown.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Sure. So on the roadway cafe diagram, you show the pavement marking, like the parking line, they call it plastic marking.
Oh, yes.
And it's shown there, but there does need to be a little note saying that there's at least 6 inches.
Okay.
Which may affect your width. I'm not sure.
No, I did definitely take that into account, but like I said, happy to include it just so it's visible for everybody. But no, you're talking between the curb and where the roadway cafe would actually start. That was definitely included in our measurement, but like I said, I don't see it there on the diagram, so happy to make that change.
Okay, thank you. And then on the second page in section 2, there's a box to check for that as well. It's R19.
R19. Okay. Thermoplastic marking.
Yep. And we would just ask that also be noted there. And that was it. We also put on our modifications sheet just agreeing to ADA standard language.
Okay.
So you'll see that, but that was all I had. Anybody else?
Well, you're providing flooring in your outdoor seating, so that'll take care of any accessibility for people, ADA accessibility. So
correct.
I think that covers it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring up that, again, for your liquor license, that you said you'd have no outdoor seating at all.
Yeah, and we don't plan on serving alcohol outside. But if that does change, we do plan on going to comply along everything that's required.
And then just so you know, it says will not operate a backyard garden or any other outdoor area for commercial purposes, including any sidewalk, cafe, and or roadbed seating. So you'd have to modify that because it doesn't say anything about not serving alcohol out there.
Okay. Sorry, it's my misunderstanding. I think I must have thought it was for specifically serving alcohol outside, and I would not be serving alcohol outside, but happy to make that adjustment with SLA in my license.
Yeah, I'm not sure any people have an issue with you serving alcohol outside. I'm just saying that it's in everybody's interest that you just correct.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's how you would suggest I just proceed, is just making that change on with my license.
I mean, whether you add it in or not, or whatever it is, but nevertheless, just correcting it so that everything is
okay.
There's no conflicts there.
Sure.
So.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Sidewalk?
Sidewalk.
Oh,
yes.
Wait.
We have a hand up.
No, yeah, I realized he's staying for sidewalk. Is that what you were saying?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I have sidewalk as well.
Also, I don't remember where the camera is, so, okay.
No, I forgot. Yep. Okay, we're going to sidewalk. If there's anybody here to testify on the sidewalk cafe application, please raise your hand. Okay. Pull up the plan. Okay, do you have anything you want to say about this application before we just jump in?
No, I mean, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, the tree bed's there too, so and that one at least. So I think everything should be pretty covered, and try to be as clear as possible there. So if there's any questions, please let me know.
I think my only question is just if you know offhand what the dimension of that narrowest pathway is to the right next to the column.
One
moment. You would be able to estimate based on what it's like there now.
It should be about 4 feet, 5 feet. At the very least, I like that corner, right, where it comes on an angle, is what you're saying?
Let me share my screen so that we are looking at the same thing.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up too. It's just taking a second for me.
Okay, here.
Okay.
I would just ask about this strip right here.
Oh, that strip. So this is like where the property line is too, by the way, is also outside. So that little narrow strip from the dotted line to there is about like 2.5, maybe 3 feet. So from where the solid line is, which is our outside, to the other thick solid line is going to be about 4.5, 5 feet.
Okay, you're talking about this right here?
No, I'm talking about where you have right above your mouth cursor, from that line all the way to the thick line that's parallel to it.
You mean here?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so then do you have any idea like this area specifically where the column juts out?
I don't know, because I see it comes a little bit past our property line. I would estimate it's the property line, the column comes out about maybe 10 inches. So it's definitely not servable space. I would say, it's.
You worried about the service style? I think are you serving from the inside here, Daniel, or how are y'all serving that area?
Well, we were planning on using the entrance, but also this whole line on the left, from the left column, this all opens into our restaurant. So this was also an option for us too. Yeah, there's actually open French doors that just come open into the space.
And what about on this side?
Here, this is also possible just for drinks, but that opens as a portion to our like espresso bar. So it's just more like a counter. So there are options, but I mean, primarily we're looking to use the restaurant entrance or the private property line all the way to the left. But there's no really service. There's no full service in our space. We just would use it to do it for customers that need the help.
Well, yeah, I do have some dimensions that would answer your question.
Sure.
So I measured the sidewalk from the curb to the face of the column as 14 feet. And that the tree pit, the tree bed there, 4 feet. So that would leave 10 feet from the tree bed to the column.
So that would mean.
Or 2 feet from
Okay.
the column to where your barrier would need to be, which has been, if you have a wider aisle from your door to the north side, you can meet ADA requirements.
Okay.
So it would seem like, and we do need barriers. I don't know if I've seen barriers out in your sidewalk yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is something that is necessary in order to have outdoor seating. But it does look like you have room for it.
Yes, no, absolutely. We were very aware of the barrier that's needed. But no, that's good. That's a good note, and I appreciate the note on the extending the space for ADA compliance.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts? Okay, great. I think that's it. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so closing the public hearing on number 7. We will go to, let's see, what did we say? What's
Online?
14? Yeah, we'll go 14, 15, 16, 18. We'll jump to 14, which is 675 Hudson Vault LLC, DBA Dos Caminos at 675 Hudson Street for a sidewalk cafe application. And the applicant is here, Zenon Sanchez. And if anybody is here from the public to testify, if you could raise your hand and Arturo will promote you.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good, good.
Okay, looks like nobody from the public wants to speak on this application, so please introduce yourself. If you want to make a statement, go for it.
Thank you. My name is Zenon Sanchez. I'm the general manager here at Dos Caminos. We've been at this location close to 15 years now. We have been part of the community for a while now, and we are always trying to be good and friendly neighbors to everyone.
Hey, thank you. Okay, let me just pull up the application. I know I had some thoughts. Brian, I think you got by, right?
Yes.
And then right before anything, the pictures that are shown there are not the most current ones. We did reduce it. We were at a hearing on April 3rd, if I'm correct, in person. And that's when we did reduce the patio to the dimensions that were specified to us.
Are you talking about the site plan is not updated?
I
can share what we have.
I was talking about the pictures that were displayed on the
The pictures with the scaffolding?
correct.
Okay. But the dimensions in the site plan, let me share. Is this accurate?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so there's no seating on Hudson Street.
There's no seating on Hudson Street.
Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing just so I can see my. Brian, you wanna go first?
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. So I agree with your dimension from the building wall out to the curb. You have 20 feet, 3 inches. What I measured when I was there today was that you only have 7 feet for a walkway and 13 feet for your seating, which is very different than this diagram, obviously. So, of course, we have scaffolding. We've got all the construction going on, and understand that that creates an obstacle for both you and your seating arrangement as well as for pedestrians. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to be weaving in and out of all those pipe columns. But it is very different than what we're presented with here. And so 12 feet is the clear distance that's required for a global corridor. So you have that shown. You have the barrier shown. Oh, and that's the other thing. You've got a 4-inch barrier on the site plan, and right now you've got planter boxes or fake planter boxes that are maybe a foot wide. So that certainly takes up a lot of space. There's so much different in reality right now, and for probably quite some time in the past, than what's presented here. So we want to make sure that, in fact, that big of a change is going to take place. Yeah, it's I think this came up on a previous application tonight, where if the designation is that this particular corridor needs a 12-foot wide clear path on the sidewalk for pedestrians, that 12-foot wide path is continuous from one end to the other end. That doesn't necessarily have to be a straight line, but it needs to be a continuous 12-foot wide path. And since that means that none of the cobblestone extension of the sidewalk counts. You know, it is, as you put on here, the curb that was originally there for a 20-foot, 3-inch sidewalk. So, okay, so when we have jogs in and out, it doesn't provide a uniform clear path. So I think that there's some adjustment on that, of how you designate that 12-foot clear path.
Yeah, so I think what Brian's talking about, so from the bench here, from the street light, and then this bench, you show the 12-foot clearance just straight out, but it needs to be measured in a radius like this, but this measurement needs to be 12 feet also. So it's really like this would be the radius.
Okay.
And so that would mean that this table would be within that clearance. So I don't know if, I'm not sure if that would just mean removing it, or if you'll be able to. Smaller, I'm not sure. We're not here to design how you set up your tables so much, but this 12-foot would have to be in a radius for each of these. So it will knock out a table here for sure. And then here as well. Is that what you were thinking, Brian? I also saw, I know that there's no seating on Hudson Street, but just because your seating does extend into this kind of like common space between Hudson and 9th Avenue, there's a hydrant here in this area and 2 manholes around here. If you could add them to the site plan just so we can make sure that the distance between the hydrant is, what would it be here, 10 feet? And then because it's a regional corridor on this side, and then the manholes have 18-inch clearance from the cafe perimeter.
Okay.
Just to make sure that even though this is for the most part on 9th Avenue, just making sure that, you know, we're not getting too close to the objects in the furnishing zone on Hudson.
Okay.
I think, let me look at my notes again. I think that was maybe all of my notes. There's also a box on the second page that needs to be checked. It's in section 3. I don't know if you have it up or I can just share my screen again.
I do have it up, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I just shared it as well. There's this section with the furnishings boxes that would need to be checked.
Okay.
I think that's it. Right? Okay. Okay, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was number 14. These are closing the public hearing on number 14. Now we can go to 15. Which I think is 164 Mulberry Street Corp, DBA Danico Restaurant at 164 Mulberry. And this is for a sidewalk application. And I believe that this is Robert. Is he raising his hand?
Oh, yeah, let me, yeah, I can, sorry about that.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Robert, how's it going?
Doing good. How about you guys? Hope you're having a good summer so far.
Okay, is there anyone here to testify on this application? Nope. Okay. Oh, I guess there's only 4 attendees right now. Okay.
A bunch of them are panelists.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Robert, I have a few questions.
Sure.
I mean, I guess one that I only realized today, I walked by, there's a sign connection
Yes.
is not on the site plan.
Okay, it is drawn in on mine. If you want, I could show you. Just because,
Okay, it's drawn in.
yeah, if you want, I could send this to you. I believe I have it in my
That's
files.
so different than what we're
Can
seeing.
you show that one more time?
You have 2 tables and we have 3 on that bottom corner. Am I seeing that right? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
So,
like it was.
no, it's if we're talking about to the left-hand side, if you're looking at the building to the left-hand side, we took one of those tables out because it interfered with the fire escape.
Okay.
So we took that one table out. The rest of them, honestly, we're only really, it's weird because we're technically in private property zone. Only one table is really on the side, technically on the sidewalk.
Right. Can you just go back to the Siamese connection for a second? Because
of course.
5 feet from both, in both directions. Can you show the plan that you have?
Sure. And I'm trying to find it right now so I could send it to you.
Okay, so the Siamese connection is it's kind of in the middle. Or,
From
hold on, let me.
from the drawing, yes. I'm actually trying to look it up right now so we can get it on Google.
Oh, good idea. Okay, hold on, let me stop sharing my screen.
Okay, so I do have it. I'm gonna send it in the chat so you can have the updated plan that
Okay.
I have.
Okay, and then okay, so then here's where the Siamese connection is. So we would need 5 feet going this way and this way.
Okay.
So both. Can you pull up your plan, or no, you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it. 1 second, I apologize.
Looks like they've got it on the right side because the doorway is there and that's clear. But going the other direction, it really wipes out that table.
Yeah, so the Siamese connection is like right here. So we would need it to go this direction too, which then would mean that definitely this table would not be able to be there.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how much space.
And that the tables you're circling right now, the one on the outer edge is gone.
Yeah, this one.
Took that one out for the fact of that the fire escape would have landed on it.
And I'm also wondering, I mean, there's a lot of, I had originally marked this item as not ADA compliant on the agenda. Maybe you saw that, because this portion that's on the public property is 2 feet. I went by and measured, and this kind of recess section is 18 inches. So the greatest depth would be 3.5 feet. So I don't know that ADA is an issue here unless other people have a different analysis.
Okay.
But the Siamese connection, I think, would make this entire section not possible because you couldn't have a walkway that goes right in front of the Siamese connection.
Okay. I could talk to Michael and the client about that one.
Yeah, because even if you have this table here, you would need
5 feet?
Yeah, you would need 5 feet around it. That includes the perimeter. Do you know if this table, is it possible to access this table from these windows or?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because,
All right, and I just sent the plans over. I apologize.
oh, thank you. Stop sharing.
Okay.
But yes, you should be able to get to these tables from that window.
Okay, because when I was thinking about the ADA earlier, I was thinking that this side would be the ADA side because this 2 feet would not be enough for,
Okay.
wheelchair to come through. If they were able to access it from this side, then I think that it would.
Okay.
Any thoughts? No. So we'll just go with that. But yeah, I mean, the Siamese connection, it does have to be 5 feet on both sides. So this whole thing I think would be knocked out. And then
Okay, so I'll make a note about that table just because the Siamese connection.
let me look at what else. So, sorry. Okay, so this, I'm going to share Google Maps view, which is kind of difficult to see from this angle, but so this is where the second table is proposed, or the right side is proposed, right?
Yes. Okay, I see where you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so it looks like there's an actual door here.
yeah, I'm trying to look at the pictures. It's hard to tell, but I think that's the best view, and it does look like there's a door. I don't know if it's in use, just because I could find out though.
That could kind of complicate this. Does it go upstairs, do you know? Does the restaurant operate on another floor?
Not that I know of, no. I believe it's only one floor and a basement.
Google Maps, if I can get there. I thought that I saw, it says party room up here. I'm not sure. Like if that's related to the restaurant.
I don't believe, here, hold on. I can find out. I'm not 100% sure if that is actually our space. I don't believe it is, but I can find out.
Okay.
So I don't have the actual application in front of me. I only have the sidewalk information.
I'm not really sure what to make of that, but I guess we'll talk about it during business session. Okay. Also, Arturo, I'm seeing people saying that they want to raise their, oh, that's.
Yeah, they're panels. I was just gonna respond. Yeah.
Okay. But are they not able to raise their hand when there are panels?
I'm not sure how that works, but well.
So maybe we should de-panelize everyone.
We
so
can't
that
raise
it
your
will-
hand group panels?
No, it's saying that.
We tried.
I don't see how I would do it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, no, you can. It's under React. It's under the heart. There, just raise my hand. Lower my hand.
Okay. Okay, all right, so we'll come back to this in business session. Thank you, Robert, for
You guys
talking
download
that
the plan?
through. What?
Did you download the plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, and all I'm seeing on my paperwork is first floor and basement, but like I said, I would need to try and find the application so I can find out about if we did the original application for this one. I can find out if it's a second floor or not.
Okay.
But I don't believe it is because it's saying it's not a lot of chairs and tables.
Okay. All right, so we will close the public hearing on number 15, and then, Robert, you also had number 18?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to number 18, which is 161 Mulberry Restaurant LLC, DBA Delso and Grand at 161 Mulberry Street.
Yes. So I'm going to start off with, we didn't do these plans. That was kind of dropped in our lap. And it was like, hey, this is what we have. This is what we drew. Can you do something for us? Me and Michael spoke about it earlier. We're both not really fans of this. We don't like how it's drawn. We don't like, it doesn't really show the doors because there is a lot of doors right there. In general, we were going to try and talk to the owner about getting these plans redone because they're not good.
Okay. Thank you.
161 Mulberry,
Yeah.
right?
Sorry?
161 Mulberry?
And if there's anybody who would like to testify, if you're having a hard time raising your hand, if you could just put it in the chat so that we could know to call on you. A couple of things I wanted to mention. Okay, so on Grand Street, right now it says vent grates for that rectangle in the dotted line. That's actually a transformer vault, which requires 3 feet.
Can you bring the plans up? I just want to make sure we're looking, because I don't see that on Grand Street.
Okay, let me see here. Does this look like what you have?
A little more detailed, but for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Mine is missing the transformer vault portion.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, DOT must have added this on.
Name a telephone.
DOT must have added everything in red.
Yeah.
And also this dotted line, I don't know why they call this event rate, because it is a transformer vault.
Again, not a knock on you, Robert.
Yeah.
The telephone is that they don't have.
Yeah, and then they.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
They put, I guess they checked this box for the vent infrastructure and they left the transformer vault box empty.
Okay.
But it is a transformer vault, which requires the 3 feet. Right now, what's set up here is a platform.
Okay. Like I said, we want to talk to the owner about redoing this one. We don't like it. We even were talking about the fact that they put that it's a 12-foot sidewalk. They're using 4 feet, leaving 8 feet. It's missing the doors. So there's a lot on this one.
Yeah, but just to call this out, the platform, in the rules, they cannot operate a cafe on top of a platform.
Yes.
And then also, I went by and there was seating set up like this. They were setting it up, but they were operating seating in the amenity zone.
Okay.
And they even have some tables on the road here.
Yeah, so we'll give them a nice little reminder about that and tell them. But yeah, no, this one is.
Was that an open?
We're trying to figure out how this one got accepted by the DOT, honestly.
Wow, Robert, you're really.
Well, no, even Michael said it. We were sitting there, we were like, how did this one get passed through? But we have better ones that we've done and just no idea. No idea.
We've thought this thing many times.
Yeah, we appreciate your candor.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, I mean, I think that Mulberry Street is an open street at some points. But when I walked by, the street was not closed, and there's chairs here and umbrellas here. So that's just another thing.
So where was the platform?
The platform is on the Grand Street side.
Okay.
Yeah, I said the only thing good about this plan is the fact that they didn't put a table under the fire escape. Other than that, it's all over the place. So we're gonna give them a call tomorrow about this one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I guess we will send you a list of the modifications.
That looks like a recent build out, right? That platform?
It's been, according to.
Well, because I'm not.
I think it's been there for a while, but
Maps, it's been there.
we'll let them know that they can't have that.
Well, on 2018, I'm not seeing it. I'm looking at Google Maps, it's not on there. And then 2019, it suddenly appeared.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking at. 2018, they've got a nice little sidewalk set up, and in 2019 it looked like they raised it up, maybe made it flat. I don't really know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, no, if you could I'd appreciate if you could send the corrections that you need. I have them written down, but it always helps.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Great,
Thanks, Robert.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Okay, so that's closing the public hearing on number 18. And now we still have 15 and 16 with the applicants on Zoom. And then I know people have been saying that they wanted to come on.
We did 15.
Yeah, we did 15, but.
Just 16.
Oh, I just crossed out the wrong.
16?
We 16.
Oh, sorry. I haven't crossed it out. Did we do 16?
We haven't done 16.
We have not, okay. Okay, so then we have 16 that we'll do, and then I know people have been saying they wanted to come on number 9.
Yeah.
So then maybe we go to number 9. And if there's anyone who wants to testify on any others, if you can put it in the chat so we know to prioritize.
Done 13 yet,
No, we haven't done 13. We haven't done,
8 is the last one.
8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 19.
Okay, so 16, you have the applicant online, right?
Yep.
So let's do
And then-
6,
Okay.
and then we'll go
To
to 9,
9.
yeah. Okay, so 16, Cava Meze Grill LLC DBA Cava, 350 Hudson Street for Sidewalk Cafe application. If there's anyone here to testify, if you could raise your hand or put it in the chat if you're having trouble with the raise your hand function. Oh, there was someone here for number 16.
Is it, no?
Oh, maybe not. Oh, it says they were going to attend in person.
I just wrote online next to it.
Okay.
Why don't we go to number 9 while we figure out?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, it looks like they're, oh no, they are here online. Jam Santos?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, let me see.
Here, okay.
Jem, I just promoted you to panelist.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. How about yourself?
Good. Thanks. Okay, does Norma want to speak? Norma, do you want to testify? Nope, okay.
I do.
Okay. Go ahead.
I've submitted comments in writing late this afternoon. If you don't have time to read them all, I ask you to look at least at the accompanying photographs. They kind of speak for themselves. Dante has been an contumacious operator in its location, which is a very high traffic pedestrian area. Its record shows that it is quite untrustworthy, and no matter what plan they propose or agree to, you can be sure that it will not be obeyed. So I think on the basis of its record, the application ought to be summarily denied.
Okay, thank you, Norma. Jim, do you want to introduce yourself? And if you'd like to make a statement?
So you're talking to me, right, Jam Santos? Hello, hi everybody. My name is Jam Santos. I'm representing Cava for the sidewalk permit at 350 Hudson. The only thing that I can add is that, based on conversation that we have with the landlord believes that, the patio will definitely add to the aesthetic of the building. The landlord also believes that there's a food truck outside that now with us having the patio would force the truck to leave the area. Will also add how the community look. The only thing that I also can add is the patio will be very helpful because the dining room that we have is very small. Especially now during this nice weather, our guests constantly asking if we are going to have the patio. We explained to them that we are going through the process the patio. They will get the permit, the proper permit, for us to be able to have the patio. That's the only thing to add unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, and when you say patio, are you intending for there to be flooring on top of the sidewalk?
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm using internal terms. No, we're planning to have 8 tables and 16 chairs.
Okay,
With
got it. I just want- Okay, take a look. Does anybody want to start with any questions?
Okay, I'll start. Hello, Jim. You're showing very large square umbrellas, and I believe that the rules say that the umbrella should not overlap onto the clear path of the sidewalk. So you seem to have room, at least in some places, for the umbrellas to shift and so they don't go out into the rest of the sidewalk. So I guess we'd like to see an adjustment there. That would be on Hudson Street.
Yeah, I actually believe that what is what shows on the plan is not really aligned with the umbrella that we have. I can probably follow with our team to ensure that they give you the proper measurements. I believe I have it in an email, but I don't believe it's going to overlap into the into the front of the sidewalk. But I can follow with our team to make sure that they give you the proper dimension for the umbrella, but they're a little bit smaller. I saw one of the photo before I joined the call, and it shows that it's completely covering the entire sidewalk, but that's not reality.
Okay.
Okay, so there's, in that regard, I look on the plan on Hudson Street, you show a 10-foot clear from the curb to a dotted line, which is not where the barrier is going to go. The solid line is the barrier, correct? Yes, that solid line?
Yes, that is correct. That's the wall.
Okay. And you show 7 feet for the setup area. Well, so you've got some distance between the dotted line and the solid black line, because I measured your sidewalk there to be 18 feet 4 inches. You show 10 feet for the clear path and 7 for the setup area. That leaves 1 foot 4 inches, doesn't it? So I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I think that it has to do with these objects in the furnishing zone. Here we have the mailbox, and we have a street light. But what I thought was odd is that this is a regional corridor, which requires 10-foot stair path. And so that includes from 10 feet from this mailbox and the street light. And so right now, this clearance of 8 feet is not enough to comply with the rules. So this would need to be 10 feet. And so your barrier would need to come in 2 feet north.
I can look into that, because in the plan that I have on my end, it doesn't show, I'm part of operation. It doesn't show how wide the sidewalk is. So I can definitely follow with the team and make sure that we give you guys the proper measurements in there. Because I do think that it's close to 10 feet. Because I remember taking some measurement in the past. But once again, I can't really tell you that it's 100% the right number.
Okay, well, so I do want to say that I appreciate your layout, your setup area, because you show a nice aisle along the building face. And so you're obviously serving from within your setup area, and that's great. So I think what might end up in business session is that we'll recommend maybe adjusting a little here and a little there. And I think you're going to come out all right, but we can't do that for you, but there may be some adjustments you want to add to the site plan for your final. So I think that's all that I had on this. So thank you.
All right. So just to be clear, so you said that what we have right now is 8 feet, and we need a clearance of 10 feet, based on the tables that we have. So we just either have to make it a little smaller, or we got to ensure that we got to, validate that it's 10 feet. So then we can let you guys know. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I did have one other. Let me see. I saw that there's also a transformer vault on Hudson Street as well. Let me switch the screen that I'm sharing. Right here on Hudson Street, this transformer vault needs 3 feet of clearance from the edge of the box, like this outer edge, which may also interfere with your current sidewalk cafe width. We would ask that that gets added to the plan with the clearance. And then there's also a box that would need to be checked. On the second page, it's box S29, where you would just check the box and say that there's 3 feet minimum of clearance there.
Okay.
By the way, I did measure that. It's 5 foot 5 inches from the curb to the hinge on that particular grate for the transformer. And the total width of the sidewalk is 14 feet 3 inches. Oh, I'm sorry, that's on Charlton. You're pointing to a transformer on Hudson?
Yeah, you're saying there's another one? Carlton Street?
There are very similar, they look like they were the same kind of hinged grates.
On Charles?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, wait, let me share my screen again.
So I made a note of that dimension because I wasn't sure how to determine what kind of, what was underneath it, just because it had the hinges on it.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what that is either, if that's a transformer vault or if that's some other kind of grate.
Yeah, so how do you know that the other one is a transformer vault? Is it labeled somewhere?
Yeah, it's on the DOT website, and also in the past when we've had applications that do have the transformer vault labeled on the site plan, it looks like this. Meaning it looks like this one.
Yeah, I mean, I stood there and I looked at it and I looked down inside and I really couldn't tell the difference.
I feel like the transformer vaults usually have a hinging, like a side.
I don't, this
Right,
is
on the-
different. I'm not sure.
Previous application.
Oh, this one looks like a transformer vault over here. This one, I don't know.
Yeah, that just looks like it.
This one does look like a transformer vault because it has the inset part and then the outer part. Okay, so we would ask that all of these grates get added to the site plan with the clearances. This one, I honestly don't know if that would be just 18 inches of clearance, which is the standard for just regular vents, or if it would be 3 feet like the transformer vault. My guess is that it would just be 18 inches and it's just a regular grate.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. We will send you the list so you'll have it all.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, so that was number 16. Closing the public hearing on number 16. Now let's go to number 9, which is Perry and Hudson LLC, DBA Dante West Village, 551 Hudson Street for a sidewalk cafe application. Okay, Norma, would you like to start?
Yes, what I said a few moments ago was a description of Dante and my position on Dante. I thought that's what the topic of discussion was at that time. I won't repeat it here. You heard it once. Just apply what I said to Dante, please.
Okay.
Okay, so the comments that you had for Kava were actually for Dante?
Yes, fine.
I'm just, or you were saying.
Yeah. Okay, gonna say it again? Yeah. So we have it on the record.
Okay, yeah, can you please go ahead and just say, repeat what you said?
Yeah, you can see my testimony in writing, accompanied by some photographs. If you don't have time to read the writing, look at the photographs. They tell you practically all that you need to know. Dante has been a contumacious operator, recalcitrant, incorrigible. And if the past is any measure of what to expect in the future, you can guarantee that whatever they may agree to in the way of a site plan, they will not adhere to. And on the basis of their gross untrustworthiness, I think you should recommend that the application be denied in totality.
Okay, thank you, Norma. Okay, is the applicant here? not expecting them, but just in case.
Augustine?
Oh.
Augustine? Sorry.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I don't want to contradict Norma, but Dante has been a problem, but they have done a couple of things for us, which has worked very well. One is to deal with the trash problem, which was horrific and is now totally under control. And the other one is they got rid of the roadbed cafe, which was hellish for the people on Perry Street. So those are two good things in their camp. There is a problem with that they're still non-compliant after all these years. I totally agree with that, and they really should be compliant. The diagram looks correct to me, apart from one thing, which is, I don't know if it's ADA compliant. That's still, jury's still out on that one. But the only thing I think is missing is a measurement of the distance to the residential entrance to the north. If you could make a note of that and have it included. Thank you.
Yeah, I do have the primary building entrance noted in my notes here. On the Hudson Street side. And then I also, just a couple boxes, the furnishing boxes, the awning boxes, and then the primary building entrance box. Besides that, that was all I could see. Any other comments?
Well, yes, there were some inaccurate dimensions. So first thing I noticed is that there's a fire escape ladder shown inside of the door along Hudson. Don't know why a fire escape ladder would be inside the building. Number two is that they show the dimension from the curb to the bike rack as being 1 foot. I measured it today as being 2 feet, 7 inches. So that, along with the clearance necessary for the pathway, would reduce the total seating area.
Wait, sorry, you're saying, what was the dimension? The 2 feet?
2 feet, 7 inches from the curb to the bike rack.
Oh, and it says 1 foot.
Yes. So that's quite a difference, I'd say. Yeah, right now there's only 3.5 feet from the primary building entrance to where they have tables set up. So, and the diagram shows the tables and chairs even closer to the principal primary building entrance than was currently there when I was measuring. So that means that the 2 tables at the north end are within that clearance requirement. Stoop to curb goes for. Okay. I think that is one other thing. Of course, they have a totally different setup. They have an illegal sidewalk structure fastened to the sidewalk for the last couple of years, I think, or since they moved in. It's
Still there?
still there, still there.
So
Is it
lean
on
to?
both sides?
Yeah.
On both
You say
sides?
lean-to?
What's
Say lean-to? Yeah.
That's
No,
architectural
no.
style,
Oh, no,
I
I
guess.
know. I was like, is that what I heard? I haven't thought about that term. And
Yeah, so I mean, the posts are attached to the sidewalk
yes.
and the top, it has a structure attached to the building at the ceiling.
This is the most updated site plan. Is looking at,
I think it's just so egregious that it.
I'm just looking at one that they had submitted to the SLA committee. I mean, I have no idea, but it's different.
When did they send
Is it more compliant?
It has more tables.
Yeah, it's more tables and
I mean, it
chairs. It's
looks
in
like-
April.
It looks like those tables were knocked out by the tree pit clearance.
It was in May 2024.
Well, this application is from 2024, July.
I think
Oh.
the ours here is more accurate because they added the tree pit clearance on this one.
Oh, got it.
So they, yeah, DOT must have,
Okay, so it's significantly less.
yeah,
It's,
only two tables on Perry.
yeah, it's 2 tables on Perry Street where it was previously 5 tables and 10 seats. So now it's 2 tables and 4 seats. And then it's the same on the. It's the same on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 9 tables and 18 seats.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to say? So we will talk about this more in the session. Okay, so closing public hearing on number 9.
Application.
Yeah. we
Busy
did.
session.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
All right.
And it didn't seem like anybody else had comments on others, but we'll just run through them quickly, and if people don't want to comment, then we'll just move it to the business session. Okay, so number 8, Sunlife Organics 25 LLC, DBA Sunlife Organics at 482 West Broadway for a sidewalk cafe.
Armand, go ahead.
Norma, did you want to speak on this one, or is your hand raised?
Which number?
This is number 8. I think her hand has been up.
Okay.
So,
Said submissions.
okay, so closing public session on number 8. Number 10, Blue Bottle Coffee Inc., DBA Blue Bottle Coffee at 101 University Place for Sidewalk Cafe. Anybody wants to speak?
Oh, Norma has her hand.
Yeah, I think her hand was up.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, she just put it down.
Hi.
Oh, you did, okay. Okay, closing public session on number 10. Number 11, Pistachio LLC, DBA Figo, 178 Mulberry Street for Sidewalk Cafe. Anyone wants to speak, please put it in the chat or raise your hand. Okay. So closing public session for number 11. Number 13, Nolita Pizza Inc., DBA Nolita Pizza, 68 Kenmare Street for Sidewalk Cafe. Okay, so we'll move that to business session, closing public session on number, public hearing on number 13, and then the last one is number 19. Bondi, 75 Kenmare Street LLC, DBA Bondi Sushi, 75 Kenmare for Sidewalk Cafe. Okay, so we'll move that to the business section. Closing public hearing on number 18. And closing public hearing.
All right.
Okay, so should we just go from the beginning?
Sure.
From 1, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. So number 1, we talked about, and the applicant was here.
And my notes are minor notes on the primary building entrance, on the ADA aisle compliance, other clearances. So in other words, there's not enough detail, or, but it didn't seem like it was a make or break kind of a thing.
like remove the middle row, right? Basically, is the
Yeah, we
biggest change.
talked about, removing the middle row, to have a more reasonable service aisle, labeling the primary, or no. They did have the residential entrances, but relabeling them as primary building entrances, including the 5-foot clearance, which they seemed to be okay with. And then we talked about, labeling the manhole clearance. Yeah, everything seemed pretty straightforward.
Cool. Approval with modifications.
Approval with modifications, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I just want to write down. Okay, number 2, we did not talk about. Take Me to the River 22 LLC.
Great. No one appeared? Right.
No one appeared. Their site plan was funny because they had their restaurant was not centered in the site plan. They're like, this is not their restaurant. This is their restaurant.
What?
But they showed their neighbor's cafe.
Oh, it may have been somebody they may have used the same person.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they just.
Oh, that's why that
But
was light.
I mean, this seems, it's very small.
Snuck up on me with the business.
I guess Stellar was such an efficient meeting.
I know, you're good.
You know, I was just saying.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
I mean, it seems fine, but it's also seems very small. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, it's that little place next to,
Next to Rosemary's. Yeah. Yeah, I walked by. I didn't.
I didn't even know that was a restaurant. Maybe I just haven't.
Yeah. I think Donna put a note that says it was okayed by the block association. Maybe.
Oh, that's nice.
what's that? I didn't
No?
put that in.
Okay, yeah, must have done it. Yeah, the only modification I have written down is the boilerplate ADA.
Cool.
So approval with modifications?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
I got it.
Okay. Okay.
Freshman done.
All right, next one, we also did not talk about Plantshed Prints, Inc. Where is that? Prince and Valerie.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's another plant shed, but they have I think they have a.
Yeah, it's a different one, yeah.
Yeah, we're here, right?
Yeah, but I was thinking about the one that you were thinking about first, yeah.
Direction, yeah, you get it.
I bought my mini Monstera at that Plantshed.
So no testimony, no applicant, right?
Yep. I have a note about indicate 8-foot clearance between street light and cafe perimeter.
Yeah, from the light pole to the current placement of these planter boxes. I measured 9'4".
Okay, so they're in compliance then.
Yeah.
We just need it.
Brian?
Yeah.
The challenge here is, I think, over the years, it's like the planters are so big that, you know, they just, the measurements need to be accurate with the clearances, because you don't err on the inside, right? It's on the outside of them. So that's the main issue.
Right, and that's why, yeah, I measured the existing layout with all those planter boxes, and their dimension on their site plan conforms with what they have now. So without changing what they have now, they do comply.
Okay.
They've got, let's see, from 10'4" from the curb to the planter box. So that's Fine.
So approval with modifications? Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Approval.
Yeah.
I will note that while I was measuring Plantshed, somebody rolled over my tape with a cart and broke it.
Cart?
Oh, sorry to
Broke
hear
it.
that.
Yeah, some guy was delivering, Yeah,
I'm sorry
Like
to
it.
hear that.
Snap?
well, it bent it, and of course, then when you start using it, it flexes and it'll. Fortunately, I do have a good supply of smaller tapes, like 12-foot and so, and if anybody needs it, like this, I've got plenty of these.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Yeah.
Way to get one for the team.
Yeah.
Brian, on that one.
Okay, the next one, St. Jardim. This
Oh,
one
yeah,
we
can you
talked
explain
for a
why there's an
while.
updated site plan?
They sent.
Or did you
in-
guys talk about, did people testify on this one? Did I miss it?
Yeah, and the applicants were here.
Okay, in
In
person?
person.
Okay, great.
No.
Okay, we don't do it.
Public. Right.
It's a repeat.
They sent in, they looked at it online and they sent it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then I emailed DOT yesterday just to confirm
What they say.
and also just to let
I
them
forget.
know that we had, and they didn't respond.
Oh, okay.
When they respond, I'm also going to mention, I watched the recording of last meeting and there were two with updated. I can't remember which thing. One other one.
Yeah.
The one over here, or down
Yeah.
there?
And they said that there was an updated site plan.
Right.
DOT didn't respond.
Okay.
Okay, so this one we talked about how it's just not ADA compliant. Yeah, but we have been setting modifications for these anyway. Right? So one of the modifications that I had was, I know, was to indicate the 8-foot clearance between the crosswalk sign and the cafe perimeter, which they said that they had on a different plan, but it wasn't on this plan. Yeah, so.
So,
And then to label the
8-foot
primary.
clearance for crosswalk?
There's a crosswalk sign on the site plan that does not have an 8-foot
I see.
clearance attached to it. And then the primary building entrance, was that on West 4th Street?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's
And they seem
too close.
okay.
Yeah, the chairs are
They
too
seemed
close.
okay with moving it. They said they
Yes.
just switch it. Okay. This would be like a deny with modifications?
Well, this,
Well,
I mean, this,
deny period.
there's no room for any tables and chairs on West Fourth. 2 feet doesn't cut it. You can't get in to serve that.
Right. So would we add that as a modification, remove seating? Oh, no, they said that, there's windows that they would serve from, yeah. Right, they said that?
I don't think that counts, because you can't even get in it. You can't get to the table.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you could get in through the inside?
No, not at,
No, I
not in that
think
location.
that that's correct, right?
There's a step up. So can't get at it that way.
Oh, there's a step up?
Yeah.
No. Oh, I see. It's like 2 inches or something.
So I believe that there's, even on West 10th, it's very much of a squeeze.
Yeah.
Very tiny. So West 10th is also a 8-foot clear path, which, yeah, the point you made about the crosswalk sign, although I think they might, well, maybe it's close. But the 2 tables they have there, 2.6, you still can't walk from their door outside onto the sidewalk and serve both those tables from inside the barrier. So I just don't think there's room for anything.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the modifications would be remove seating on West 4th Street. And yeah, I mean, we will deny it because of ADA, but we'll still send the modifications because we don't know how DOT will.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if it's even worth noting because it's so rampant everywhere. They have been serving outside at tables and chairs with no barriers whatsoever, so they've been in violation knowingly. Well, of course, everybody claims ignorance, but that's because they ignore the rules. It's for any proprietor of a restaurant or bar to open a place without knowing or looking at what the rules are for operating such an establishment is a willful ignorance of the rules of how they should operate. So it's really, there's really no excuse to say, oh, I didn't know.
Unless DOT is issuing some sort of statement saying we're not going to enforce X, Y, Z.
Well, that's different, yeah.
That's different, but they haven't done that.
Okay. So denial with modifications, denial period, said modifications, all in favor?
Aye.
Next is number 5, Kith Treats. This one is also not EDA.
St. Jardim, they testified in person?
No. Oh, I'm sorry, St. Jardim, yeah, they were in person.
And the people testified?
On Zoom, yeah.
Yes.
So this doesn't really comport with reality
Oh.
because they have a line
I know.
with
I thought it was-
stanchions
Yeah.
and,
They're proposing the seating where the stanchions go?
Yeah.
you
But
can see
that's also
the.
the window that you go up to, right? You guys have seen the
Well,
remodel?
no,
right?
that's on
Oh,
Bleecker. This is.
Oh, right, there's a line for the
Okay.
retail, right.
And they even show in their photos where they put the stanchions
Yeah.
for the line.
But that's where they're saying the cafe is gonna go? So where's the line gonna go?
The sidewalk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Around the people sitting?
Yes, exactly, right?
Well, so
Yes.
I went there.
Tell us all
I
about
went,
it.
I went to the restaurant entrance as marked on the site plan. Told by the doorman, there's no ice cream shop
That's right.
inside this shop. This is for clothing. You gotta go around the corner on Bleecker. On Bleecker, there was a window
I'm glad you did that because I was gonna say that, right, I didn't.
and there's a wall between. There's no visible connection.
Connection?
But immediately to the right or to the east of the Bleecker Street window for the ice cream shop is a secondary exit door. It's not an entrance door, it's locked and so forth. You can't get in there.
They just
But it
serve
is an-
from the window, right?
They only serve from the window.
Now,
So-
go ahead.
The ice cream shop does wrap around the corner. I mean, that end of the building is the ice cream shop. But for them, this is something that we've dealt with before, and I don't have all the details, but are these two separate businesses?
So I
Are they
offer-
registered?
So I offer this, and I know just visibly, I've not been inside of that store, but I know that the ice cream used to be on the second floor, which was accessible from the retail, so I don't know how that works with their
That's a good
permit.
point, that's.
So I don't know, like,
Probably
so I don't know
submitted in the
how,
past.
yeah, so I would just, again, we wouldn't know that from this application, I just know I've seen it, I remember before the remodel, right, because it was all blacked out, right, they moved. I don't know why I know so much. But I think they temporarily had space, right, at the old Crate and Barrel, while that renovation was going on. So I remember I would walk by and on the second floor, you could see the ice cream shop up there. So I offer that as a point of information.
I'm just trying to find, But I think that in the comments, that's, that these are, you know, they operate two separate businesses and the Kith Treats.
It's a separate LLC, is it not?
Well, I'm not,
Okay, we're not gonna get into it.
that's not the issue. The issue is that there's no connection between the set, where they serve the food to the Sidewalk Cafe scene. And one would have to actually purchase the food on Bleecker Street, standing at the window, and then walk with it around the corner. So there's not a connection between the two, which seems to be against the rules, even with the self-service, is that you can't exit the store and go sit. And there's no table service that I'm.
Well, they actually show on the site plan that in order to have the 10-foot clear path, there's only 2.5 feet left for the seats. And that's the same as we just saw with the St. Jardim.
And actually, you know what, Valerie, you're right, because the business legal name is Kith Treats LLC. And that is not the business.
Not the clothing.
The clothing business, which is operated and which this seating is in front of.
Yeah.
So I think that you may be right, Valerie, that when it was operated inside the establishment, it also wouldn't have qualified. They have the same parent company.
Oh, because it was on the ground floor.
But it's not on the ground floor. Now it's on the ground floor.
What date was his application submitted? The file name.
June 1st.
This year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or June 10th, maybe.
So I think that that's, you know, that the.
Is that possible? That's what it says. And this was sent to us on June 30th.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably catching up, right? We're getting down on the numbers.
Okay.
Denial.
But yeah, where it says restaurant entrance, that's not the restaurant entrance. This is not a restaurant. And,
But, you know, on top of everything else, we can deny it just because 2.5 is not sufficient to serve within that barrier.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Wrap it up.
All right, number 6, Hungry Llama.
Did we vote on it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor on denial?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Hungry Llama, let's do the roadway first.
Well, we did ask them to add the tree pit and the marking street, so, but I didn't see any other reason to deny or okay with those notes.
So approval with modifications?
All right.
Okay, the Sidewalk Cafe?
Make sure that we get barriers.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval with modification? Approval of modification?
Aye.
All right, so that's 6 and 7.
the next one, thank you for going out to the site.
Yeah.
Photographs.
Because
It's interesting. I
Google-
learned all about how you can blur out
How
Google
do you do that?
images. You just send them an email and say you don't want it in there. Anybody can do it for any site.
They did that.
Oh, yeah, because you can do it for like your house or something, right?
You
Or-
can do it for- apparently, you don't even have to be the property owner.
Oh.
You say, oh, I don't want that there. That's what it said online. I was like, what? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I put photos in the Google Drive.
I didn't.
Are we on Sunlife
I felt
Organic?
like that they were just trying to hide things on this, and it really raised a lot of questions. And I wish the applicant had been here, because it's just difficult when, kind of, they seem to willfully not include the information. And Brian, you know more about, like, looks like these were developed by an architect, these plans, and I don't know what all this stuff is, but it's sort of these little dotted lines. I mean, I don't know what those are. Is that like tree coverage or something?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. So it's like they're kind of ignoring what the stuff is. And it's also interesting because, and this is something the rules don't address, right? What happens if you have a tree closer to the building, and if you still maintain the clear path on the outside? You know, which is an interesting, right? We don't have many examples in our community of that, but I thought that was kind of an anomaly, but it doesn't seem to meet the rules. But nevertheless, that's the type of situation. If the clear path is on the outside, are you really blocking stuff? So.
And I saw that with, in section 2, they say that there's 8-foot clearance from the tree bed, which is just weird.
Well, it's on the outside, like, and I only was able to figure that out by, you know, they don't show the tree pits, they just show the tree canopy, I assume that's what the dotted line is.
I think that there is.
It's shown faintly. In the middle of the squiggly line is a very faint dotted line of a rectangular shape. So there's 1, 2, 3 of those tree pits and trees.
So it looks like their cafe would go right up to the tree pit.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I think that the way the rules are written is that you have to have the distance, you know, within. So and it's disingenuous that it's not clearly labeled.
It doesn't say
to really highlight it, and then they conveniently, all the photographs that they've submitted don't, you know, are not of that side.
Yeah.
Well, it immediately raised questions in my mind because it was obvious to me, looking at the placement of the tree pits, that this is a widened sidewalk situation. I don't know when it was widened.
Oh, interesting.
But I can't think of any circumstances where the tree pits were not put at the curb, unless the sidewalks widened later on. And so I noticed that there is some kind of a checkbox or something about appealing, or there's something about a widened sidewalk area that gets special attention. But as is, without that, just on face value, I cannot accept pushing the clear path away from the building like that and beyond the tree pits.
This is the old Starbucks? Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the both sides? Yeah. I think it's a really long, right, on Houston, right?
Yes.
They're not going too far, it's a tiny tent.
Oh.
Which is surprising to me too.
Yeah, it is. It kind of, thinking about,
Seems to have a lot of, it
brands,
seems to have a lot of detail, right? But we think that they're hiding stuff on this.
I think the red might have been added by DOT.
Oh.
Because that's what they did on Delso brands.
Oh, it's probably a layer. If you look it up in Adobe Acrobat, like it's probably a layer, maybe?
Adobe.
Oh, okay.
But, so that, I mean, clearly this 8-foot clear path was okay with DOT.
Yeah, but that's because the plans don't show.
They're hiding stuff?
You know, I don't, this is something that we should call out.
Okay.
Because I don't. this is the type of thing which the other gentleman was asking for exceptions. And it seems in this case, they're making an exception, but in the
They're not
same
being
fashion, right? They're saying, oh, this isn't gonna create an impact. And I don't. So instead of when I appreciate your pictures very much visiting, we need pull-aways so we can see, you know what I mean? Because we can always zoom in on them.
Yeah.
Because the picture that,
Okay, they were definitely added.
that I would want to refer to is this one on this side, right? Yeah, because I always find this
You're right.
stuff. If you don't, I always tell this to everybody, always take the big
Or the wide
hallway shot. So you can, later on, when you have a question, you have a reference photograph of the whole thing and then take little detail shots. But if you don't have that reference one, it's hard to explain the glaring thing you found in your small picture.
Oh, and the whole building.
Because it's not in
is off.
context.
The whole building is blurred off.
We've had so many complaints. Don't you see this? And you're like, see what? Because it's a close up of something. But this, because I think that this is where we would want to see if the exception, like what it was for.
And then there's also a primary building entrance on West Broadway. Yeah.
Is it bigger than that? That's from 2009. Is it bigger than this though?
That stretch?
Yeah.
I think it's like equal to the inside on the outside.
Okay, so, but I just said Brian's question. I don't know if it was wide. I don't think it was after. So Brian, this is, you know, the Houston was widened for the subways a long, long time ago, but I don't think there were many tree pits done.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, trees weren't a focal point in.
Weren't being funded.
They were building. That time period.
Well,
but
that's, if I'm not mistaken, that side of Houston is where they took half a block or.
Oh, yeah.
A building on.
That's why we all had all the scarred.
Exactly.
Until recently. All the weird.
The tree pits would have obviously been added after they widened Houston.
Right. But then they narrowed.
Why would they put it in the middle of the sidewalk instead of at the curb? It just doesn't occur in other places in the city.
A lot of anomalies on Houston Street.
Okay. And on West Broadway, there's a primary building entrance. It's not labeled to the left, right? Yeah. And it's not included. They don't show the extra building, but.
Is it gonna impact their seating?
Yeah, they'll have to come in a little bit.
Okay. All right.
So is there a way that they could fix it so that we would be okay with it if they remove the seating on West Houston?
I think that's the biggest part.
Yeah, okay.
They need all that needs to be fixed.
Okay, so approval with modifications?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain. You didn't call for it, but.
Oh, all in favor? Aye. Any abstentions?
Can I ask why you're abstaining?
I don't have to disclose an abstention.
No, just ask.
I'm looking at the tax photo from the 40s of that. It was rubble.
Oh, so that was the date of.
Yeah, it's like you can see, or it's not rubble, but you can see that's the leftover.
Go ahead. What is it?
Like smoothies, like a basement thing.
Okay, next is Harry and Hudson, Dante West Village. Number 9. We the applicant was not here, but we did have people speak. Oh, Brian pointed out the sidewalk cafe structure bolted to the sidewalk.
Oh. Oh, this is the lean-to one, right? Yeah.
With floral decorations, no less.
I actually kind of like it.
This is the one
It is
that.
against the
This
rules.
is the one that, this is the whole thing that they decided not to do the roadway.
Yeah, that was the. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, they,
Isn't that
guess
what
they did some compromising there, but, I mean, because they've been flaunting the rules for a long time.
Yeah, it looked like they had to do some reductions. I'm
Okay.
okay, I think, I don't know what Justin had said.
Yep.
That they've taken steps to work.
With the bar association.
And we do have a lot of modifications about the primary building entrance, the bike rack measurement, so they'll have to adjust the cafe width on that north end, but also, actually, that might not be a problem once they account for the primary building entrance. Be 5 feet in.
Is there a fire escape? Is that one?
Oh, and the fire escape. They have to relabel that.
I guess that I would hope that we could make a very strong statement.
From Dante still, right?
Yeah.
No outdoor seating allowed without barriers.
And they have like a weird setup too, that they're gonna have to, Valerie, how the whole like zigzag cutting in and.
I mean, this is my personal, I don't know if you guys all agree with that. The diagonal just seems tough.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I
Tough to stay
agree that makes it very difficult to enforce. For them to even lay it out, they have
I know
to
another
be
applicant,
consistent.
I know another applicant mentioned having tape. Okay, if there's a way around it, like that,
With the tape, yeah.
I don't wanna.
I'm realizing that once they
Also, no, I also, if I'm recalling correctly, it's Kate, it's similar, has the same attorneys as the one. Okay, that's it, it's not really.
I'm realizing once they come in from the primary building entrance on Hudson, they'll be diagonals in the bike rack, so it'll only need to be 8 feet down. Which I think will work.
Yeah, that
They just need to show that.
adjustment could probably work. We're not gonna do the design for them. Not so sure about the getting near the corner with the streetlights and the fire hydrant and things like that, but it's up to them to make it work. But I just, people that are just so belligerent,
So are we good on this?
scofflaws.
Okay.
We need to reward them with anything. But
Approval with modification,
moving forward,
all in favor?
aye.
Number 10 is blue bottle coffee.
And I didn't see anything. Seemed to have all the clearances and stuff, so
Yeah, I didn't have any.
I'd be okay with that.
So the only modification would be the boilerplate ADA.
Yeah.
1 second to go up.
Nobody came for this, nobody testified.
There's no PVE on the other side? You said no? Okay, good with me.
So approval of modifications, all in favor?
Aye.
Blue bottle,
Yeah.
we did approve of modifications right on Dante.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next is Pistachio Ego on Mulberry Street. Nobody came. And this one is not ADA compliant. It's only 2 feet. But besides for that, they don't have any PVD issues, so.
This is a sidewalk, right?
Yeah.
Was it the roadway that they withdrew?
I don't
They did
remember.
come for Roadway. I saw that I recall. Um,
But yeah, I mean, I think there's no modifications to send. Because it would just be ADA. And they're 2 feet. Deny? All in favor?
Yes.
It's for Pico, right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's number 11.
Right, the next is.
Yeah, number 12, 182 West Fourth Hospitality, the Park Gate. And they came in person, and we had testimony.
So the modifications, there's a PVE needs dimensioning.
This is the old,
It's at the corner of West Fourth and Jones. Yeah, old, what was it? Some grungy bar. Not 10-foot, 4-face liars. But
oh, right. Yes, it's all white now. Yeah. That's right. Okay, thank you.
But anyway, very nice, nice
Yeah.
place. They presented very well at SLA. So the sidewalk dimension is needed. Definitely need barriers. These are all things that would be noted. Boxes marked for the clearance, the type of corridor, things like that. But if they come back with a revised plan,
Right.
be okay with it.
Yeah, we talked about 12 feet on both West Fourth and Jones. Yeah, just the cafe width limit to 1 row of tables on each sidewalk, on each side. Okay. Approval with modifications. All in favor? Aye. Okay, number 13. Okay, no leader seats, so we didn't talk about this one.
Testimony, no.
They have seating in the amenity zone, and they've had seating in the amenity zone for as long as, the furnishing zone for as long as I've walked up there.
Since it went from the amenity zone to the furnishing
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
Actually had a change in vocabulary, not to correct you, but just so we're all on the same line. Okay.
So I guess we could add that as a comment to DOT.
So did anyone get over there to look at that? Because from the photographs, it looks like all the seating is in front of these 3 steps that go up to the front door.
Yeah, I walked by quickly, I didn't get to measure, but it looks like they're 8 feet that they're marking there for the width includes the steps. So I think that's okay. If they were saying 8 feet in addition to the steps, that would be a problem.
And
Do we want them just separately?
is there another door to the left side? Is that?
Yeah, they took over a store next to them and they connected on the inside. So they have that 1-story extension plus the building itself. So there's a lot of configurations they could do and still have access to the inside with the, I haven't been over there. I know the operator from this just was previously, I think, He was either the manager or, I don't think he was, I don't know if he was an owner or not, but he was the manager at Bleecker Street Pizza for a long time. And then had moved to Second Avenue, because I saw him over there, I think Second Avenue at St. Mark's. And then he moved down here maybe during the pandemic at some point. But he's been a pizza person in our community for a long time.
So it looks like big sliding glass doors at the top of the big wide steps. Is that pretty much, do they open that up when they want to, good weather or whatever? Seems to show that in the photos. But anyway, like you say, if the clearances seem to be adequate, then
I guess we should tell them to separate the measurement of the steps and the cafe.
yes. And are they clearly showing a barrier? No, they don't see any indication of where the barrier is placed. At least, yeah, it's seeing this side. Yeah, I don't see any symbol or note that says this is where the barriers are. So again, if I had my way, I would say there shall be no outdoor dining without barriers until barriers are in place.
Okay, so approval with modifications,
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye. This is for,
that was for 13?
Bolita.
right.
Okay, next, number 14 is 675 Hudson Vault LLC, Dos Caminos. I feel like they had a lot of modifications. Label the fire hydrant on Hudson Street and 10-foot clearance. Label the manholes on Hudson Street and label clearance. Adjust the clearances on 9th Avenue from the benches and streetlight to be a 12-foot radius.
Continuous 12-foot clear path and not the kind of jagged that they show.
And then just check the corresponding.
Yes.
So approval with modifications, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Danico, I actually forgot to mention something. I walked by right before this meeting and they had seating. I took a picture on my phone, but I haven't uploaded it. They had seating. Let me just.
Sitting on the roof.
Practically. They had seating.
Raise the roof.
So next to them at the corner is an empty lot. And they had seating extending in front of the empty lot, pretty deep.
Oh, okay, just took over.
I didn't get the other side of the shot, but. That's them down there. And I sent it over here.
It's a fine restaurant, stay with me.
Right.
Hungry.
Now.
Oh, no, it doesn't show up in their pictures.
I thought
Are
about
these
it.
correct pictures?
There it is.
This is Danico.
Yeah, number 15, 165 or 164, Mulberry Street Corp. Where we landed on this?
Yeah, where did we land on this?
Kind of land, or I
I was
kind of landed.
saying, was this the one where he was saying, I don't know how this got, or was that for?
No, that was-
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we said that the signage connection needs to be added. It needs 5 feet clearance on either side, which wipes out pretty much anything on that north side, which is the left side, because you couldn't even have a perimeter. And then on the other side, there's a door there.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the door goes. So either it's a primary building entrance. it didn't look like it, like
No,
they
it didn't
totally
look like
cover
it,
it up.
yeah.
There was like a menu stand there.
And they had like a central entrance that felt like that was like their primary entrance into the
Yeah.
space.
I mean, it might be.
Oh, you meant for the upstairs? Is that, oh, that's what you were
They really
asking
cover it.
about.
They
That was an
really
issue.
cover it up. Like in the application photos. There's like, they're cut out of the woman holding the menu. So I can't really imagine if that's a private, I can't imagine that people tolerate that as their residential entrance. So I'm not really sure. The only way that it would be ADA, I think, is if people could access that south side, the right side from the inside, from that door. That's not resolved.
This one.
Well, there do seem to be doors that go down to the sidewalk level, so it's a possibility.
I guess we didn't even confirm like if the inside, I guess the inside is connected. If that would be shown. So what do we think?
Well, I think that we told him in the meeting that come back with the showing the fire department connection, 5-foot clearance, both sides. One side is the main entrance, so it's not a problem. And then see what's left. So that they can come up with.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I was left too, which is like all these like different design updates and what is even left after that.
Are we comfortable saying remove the seating on the left side?
Yeah, from Siamese connection, obviously, yeah. Can't
Oh,
confront
yeah.
that.
Once you show the clearance, I think it's going to speak for itself.
And then remove the other side.
Well, even, he even said that the other side, because the only way to serve it is within that 2-foot public sidewalk space. And you couldn't put a table there because then you couldn't serve, you couldn't get to the back of the tables. So I think he said he might only have one table instead of 2.
I mean, we could suggest that.
Yes, show the service aisle within the barriers. And again, they have barriers.
Then, even then, how do they get into that? Like, for it to be ADA compliant? The back clearance is only 2 feet with the pillar or whatever it is.
Yeah, they would have to access from the inside.
Right. The inside it has that window door combo that is also unclear what that is.
So I thought that we left it up to them to come back with all those, show how it's going to be done. I think we covered the ADA aspect.
Access to the
Without-
left,
We didn't
to the
find
right
a
side.
solution, but we left it to them to come back with one.
But we still want them to reduce to one table so they can get around.
Right, which they seem to be willing to do.
Okay, so approval with modifications? All in favor?
I feel like this is more of a conditional denial. It's just, I don't really, it feels like more like the other Mulberry applications where you just outright denied it, so I'm not.
I think it's a good point. I mean, we're really not okay with as presented, and we don't know what the modifications are going to look like. So, additional denial.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we only have 4 more. Number 16.
Get it done.
Kava, 350 Hudson Street. Oh, we had the weird grades.
A pathway to approval.
Yeah, I was kind of thrown off initially. I was like, oh man, like Norma was really against it.
Oh, Johnson.
And I was like, okay,
Oh, but that was for.
for Johnson.
Okay, so we have,
I'm hoping that the proprietor, Jim, stayed to hear that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that it wasn't. Oh, okay.
It wasn't a comment against his restaurant. So, okay, yeah, I'm okay with the usual commentary.
and we said, adjust the clearance to the mailbox and traffic light, 10 feet on Hudson. Adjust the cafe width to accommodate the 10-foot clear path on Hudson. Label the transformer pole on Hudson, label 3-foot clearance, and then also label transformer box on Charlton. Or what street is that?
Yes, Charlton. Yes.
Used to work right by
And
there.
then also, what?
So I used to work right by there.
Then also the vent. Label. Yeah, I just wanted to make this. Okay, so approval of modifications, all in favor? Aye. Okay, the next one, they came in person. This is the one that took a while.
Oh, okay. Number.
Did you come in during the one?
Yeah, the middle of it. Number
17. San Carlino, Astoria, Carlina.
People testify.
We had a very long conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long conversation. Label each primary building entrance, one on either side. Adjust the cafe length. Label 10 feet from the clearance as a radius. And check the boxes, include the cafe perimeter on site plan.
That's right.
I think too, on this one, we received as a board a lot of complaints. They will be just for operating in the amenity zone.
Oh, absolutely.
Furnishing zone.
I can attest to that too. I mean, it's been awful.
Much further down on Hudson, yeah.
Yeah, he acknowledged that.
Yeah, and it was interesting because this was when he came, the outside was never part of the business. And then he said tonight, well, I only have 12 seats or whatever it is, but that's what it was when he came. Right. So, I mean, and that's a dilemma. This is a great example of a business that opened during COVID and never factored in the additional seating and then took it not as a help, right?
It became part of the business
assist your
model.
business, became part of the business model.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about the rent, but he signed that lease without the outside, like being in the mix or permanent rules. The previous place did have a small sidewalk cafe, but it's interesting what we see now. It's like, how are these things all factored in? And
Well, we do know that the rents go up and they go up by some large increments. It's not a little here and a little there. So.
But is the
But that's
solution to
every-
that, encroaching on the public space and taking more of the public realm away from the public?
Right, absolutely not. I mean, those are the.
And that's a good, both of these beg the question, that we said in Hudson Street, so many small businesses have been pushed out in the last 5 years. Since COVID, we've lost so many businesses there, but yet there's a significant discount on the pricing for the use of the public space for people who are paying high rents on the inside that are pushing out the diversity of our business community and it becomes, you know,
Right,
mono,
watch repair guys gone,
monoculture, just restaurants and
Mom and pop coffee shops, like all the, like, yeah, so many of like the, you know, just like iconic classic places that were very community oriented.
like the delis.
Yeah.
Yeah, the deli.
Across the street, you know, that is pushed out. Just disappointing to see, and then the.
Well, we looked at this and we looked at the data of what is it, the R6 and then, when we worked on the resolution, the text amendment response, changing the zoning of what would the potential impact be on R6, which includes neighborhood uses, right? That's the neighborhood services.
Which rezoning? Pleasant Square or?
No, the zoning text amendment for the outdoor dining program.
Oh, okay.
No, before you joined.
No, but this was specifically to CB2 or?
Yeah, specifically CB2.
All right.
Yeah.
Most of our residential
Yeah.
are non-conforming uses from before the zoning was enacted. And it really changes the entire balance of what the small stores were. This, I don't think that this is a commercial zoning, but just the point of it, you know, lose all the
Right, I mean,
small
but you know,
businesses.
it also too, in terms of the fees, you know, Hudson Street, east and west is the dividing zone for the fee is more sensitive on one side versus the other. If you look at how the fees are allocated, it's interesting to look at. Like this cost per square footage.
For the outdoor dining. Outdoor dining piece,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Mhm. Anyways,
Okay,
I
so
don't want to slow us down, so.
approval with modifications,
Yes.
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye. How many left?
Two.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Two, you're right.
yay, okay. Okay, the next one is, Gelso and Grand, 161 Mulberry.
This is the plan that Robert didn't like.
Yeah.
So is there a pathway to approval?
Label vent grate as transformable on Grand Street includes 3-foot, clearance, remove platform from Grand Street.
Right.
And they're operating in the amenity zone, and also they've had like 4 feet or less for pathway.
We have never followed.
Yeah.
This would have just felt like a denial, to be honest. I wrote denial.
Yeah, either that or conditional denial.
Like, we could send modifications, but
I mean,
the fact that they have this platform that appeared out of nowhere, all these other community pictures that we have.
because they built it after
Yeah.
March 16, 2020, right? So it's not,
well, it
doesn't even matter.
I think it was like between like 18 and 19 or
it doesn't even matter, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I once walked by here and it was such a small, on Mulberry Street, such a small clearance. And there was a woman also walking by and she didn't know who I was or that I knew anything about outdoor dining, but she said, that is not 8 feet.
You're like listening in.
I'm like, it should be 10, it should be 10. on Mulberry Street.
link.
I'm like,
Yeah.
right here, there you go. Take a snap a picture.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, it's been.
Denials and modifications.
There's a long history here, if you, I put in one of the SLA resolutions, but it references the Sidewalk Cafe resolutions, and that they didn't follow, not following rules.
Well, I'd say-
It was a law, I mean, that's from 2012, 2014, the same owners. They also own several other restaurants, and so when we don't get, I mean, the way, this is a space that can have a significant amount of seating. But to do it, you need a good plan, and it shows what you can do and what you can't do, but they won't even, just what we were talking about, they are fortunate to have a space where you can have a significant amount of seating, but you gotta follow the rules.
Yeah, it's a corner site. It's a great advantage in that neighborhood, but Mulberry Street is such a wild west. I have almost throwing up my hands. There's,
Well, it's-
nobody
because
follows any rules.
Because it really should be a separate,
Yeah.
thing.
Did you say that went back to 2012? Okay. Okay, so denial, all in favor?
I'd be okay with denial.
2014 is when they came for this, but I'm saying they own several
Number
restaurants, the group. So-
Number 18.
And they can come back to us with the revised plan. I mean, if they-
Okay,
Exactly.
all right.
I mean, also when they do them like hand written like this and they don't, it doesn't even look like they're trying.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, you know what?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So all in favor, denial, aye?
Aye.
Okay, and then the last one, which is Bondi, we didn't talk about this one.
Okay.
Applicant wasn't here. I had a comment to enclose the perimeter on all sides, except for like the one side.
Seems to be two primary, pardon me, two main Bondi entrances or exits on the plan. I don't know about any residential.
Yeah, I don't think there was any primary building entrance. But they do need to label the 10 feet from the edge of the tree bed on Kenmare.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Because it looks like DOT did it for them, right? These like red marks.
Oh, yeah, I think that.
So I was surprised that they didn't
Yeah.
add the tree.
Yeah, they don't have the measurement from the tree, which
I guess it needs to be.
It looks like it should be fine, but
just don't have the measurement.
yeah, they should add it, yeah.
Again, I think that all these measurements are important because this is the defining plan. And then there's no confusion later. When you don't include them, it's
left guessing.
I've said it before, but the reason we didn't have many problems with outdoor dining before COVID was because the site plans were crystal clear, which you can do and which you can't do, and that was it. And
Everything was measured.
It was very rare that people would add in additional seating. What wasn't uncommon was sometimes a little bit of encroachment into where they shouldn't be, but that's only because they were creating even more space, not really more tables and chairs. Just giving more space inside, so.
Okay, so approval of modifications,
Good.
all in favor?
Aye.
One of the modifications should be that on Mulberry Street, you can't have the tables and chairs blocking the cafe aisle. And so even if they're serving right out of the door, you can't get to the other side of the table or.
So reduce to two top?
You would
Well,
have
I
to
think,
reduce.
aren't they going around from Kenmare to Mulberry, right?
No.
Well, they have the
I guess they
perimeter.
could.
Oh, I
They have
see.
the perimeter
I see. They-
dashed around.
If you do the perimeter on that corner side too.
They have to add the barrier.
Well, yeah, then they have to add the barrier, yeah.
Would the barrier go around the corner?
That would be so weird, though, to get, for four people to get to that table, two of them would have to come out one door and the other two would have to go out the other door and around the corner to get to the same table. That's pretty weird. Anyway. But if it's a two-top, then it would work.
Wait, okay, so are we okay with the perimeter going around the corner?
Yes.
As long as it's not.
As long as it's meeting the clearances, like,
So we want to ask them to connect them?
Connect them and reduce the four-top to a two-top.
Oh, we still want to ask them to do that?
Yeah, that's the only way to get service. Well, it's the only way to, Like I say, yeah, otherwise it's absurd. You'd have to go out the other door and go around the corner. But, you know, if they do that, seems to me that a two-top could be closer to that door, and then the other two-top could be closer to the corner.
Yeah, they could have just
Against
like
the building wall.
two tops, yeah.
And for that matter, they leave a lot of room around those other two-top tables setting up. There's an aisle on the outer and there's one against the window. It's not really using that space very well.
Okay, so approval of modifications, all in favor?
Yes, yes.
Aye. For new business, we got 6 sidewalk cafes yesterday.
I'll tell you what they are. Sidewalk for duplex, sitting on Christopher, 40 and a half feet.
Ooh, that'll be a
5 feet. So we should take a look at that. It's 20 tables on, so we should take a look at that.
Never thought I would
It looks like there's a lot of room between the tables, but those will be up online soon, right? Yeah. And then Wogie's sidewalk.
I was wondering when we were gonna see that one because
Yeah.
like I've seen them have, and I was like,
On
why have
Greenwich
people-
Avenue and on Greenwich Avenue and on Charles Street.
We did Wogie's already, didn't
We did the roadway. We did the roadway.
they've had
Well,
that sidewalk for a
we?
while.
Yeah. They've been serving outside on the sidewalk.
But
Fortunately.
and we will hold
pretty
a
well compliant.
proper public hearing on these, but on the site, and we'll get those in the drive and all that, just we have the meeting this week. These just came in like what, yesterday?
Yesterday.
Last night. But I noticed that they say that it is 42 feet on Charles Street versus 25 feet on Greenwich. I think it's just transposed, but I just did it quick.
We got Jack and Charlie's number 118.
Huh?
Jack and Charlie's number 118. It's on the corner of like Greenwich and 13.
Then we have Bar V on Morton Street. It's a really tiny sidewalk. And then Sidewalk Cafe for Pasquale Jones. And Dodge Gennaro on Mulberry. It has a 74 foot, but there's like a little entrance. They just have the entire, yeah, I know. So again, these will all be in the drive. We'll put them online for everyone. And then Chichio Chinchin, 681 Washington Street. Anyway, so those are it. I just said I'd mention those. And then, so while we're quickly on that, if there's anything else anyone wants to bring up in their business. So our next, so if we have, that's from the 14th, and then we have 1, 2, 3 more weeks of, right, possible applications, right? The week of the 21st, the week of July 28th, the week of August 4th, and then our next meeting is August 12th.
That would be 4 weeks of applications?
Yeah, 4 weeks. So, and these ones aren't due until they're due. No, well, the ones we got yesterday are due on the August 23rd, because they're all sidewalk, but it's really Monday, the 25th, so I think we're fine.
Yeah, and if it is 6/6/6/6/24, yeah, I mean, it might be more than that.
It might be.
On the 30th, we only got 2. So Super Rich and Wise.
Oh, wait, so we have 8 then? Oh, no, you're saying on this, that are on this list, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, on June 30th, we only had 2, which is crazy. And then we got like another 6, and then we got another 11 or something.
Super Rich?
Yeah, so like these 2.
Is that a roadway?
No, the ones we
She's
heard
saying
today.
that the first 2
That
were
we
the only
heard.
2 referrals for 1 week, though. We had 1 week with just 2
Yeah.
referrals.
That created this agenda. Yeah,
Do you know
there
how
were
many
2.
other ones are in the system but haven't been referred by DOT yet? Do you know?
I haven't calculated this meeting or the last 2 into where I'm tracking it, so I can get back to you guys on that over email. That's a good question. I'll do that. Let's see what.
Good numbers that we're getting.
Yeah, so I think we're all in agreement, we don't need to meet at the end of the month, yes, okay. Which that was not scheduled, because again, we kind of forecasted, right? That this would kind of start right at the wall. And so then our next meeting will be Tuesday, August 12th. We'll just say at 6:30 for now. If we see that there's more, we'll push it back to 5:30. Does that work for everyone?
Wait, what'd you say?
That we would start at 6:30 on the 12th, August 12th. So that's our next meeting. And I don't have another meeting scheduled in August.
How long are these licenses for? When do they renew?
They're every 4 years.
Okay.
But the renewals are not generally.
No, I mean, if they just do the same plan, like, ideally, that's.
Well, they don't, renewals are generally not. Process.
Is there any other new business that uses new business? I don't have any.
Any hearings or legislation or city council folks talking about anything? No?
Just the primary, I don't think.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
If you want to, you're sorry.
With the power vested in me.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Great job, Stella.
Thank you. Where's the mouse?
Oh, here. You want me to do it or do you want to do it?
Thank you, everyone who's online.
Bye.